Rebuild of the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side. Not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball. But we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Ganty, so the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
God damn it, Aldo. God damn it. So for those of you that don't know, we'll go live and I'll tell everybody a story. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, July 13th, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Zawoski, a.k.a. Father Zoe, a.k.a. Southside Zoe, and with me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto.
I had to do it. I mean, this is the only fun I get to have during the All-Star break.
That's fair. That's fair. And so, folks, for the first probably 15, 20 minutes of the show, it is a OG show. This is how Pinwheels and Ivy started. It's just me and Aldo. 5 years ago. Still fucking wild saying that out loud. But my basement's still fucked, for those asking, and I appreciate everybody that's reached out and said nice things and all that fun stuff. It's not, I wouldn't say fucked. It's
not great.
It's different. Tore down a whole wall, and there's some work to be done. Let's just put it that way. But at least it smells nice and is clean and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's an OG original broadcast of Pinwheels and Ivy right now. Fids is at some barbecue with a bunch of Vegas major leaguers. I don't know if he's there as a guest or as like the beer dude, but like he's there. And then Mitch is playing chicken with tornadoes on the roads of Missouri right now. Hopefully he joins us in a little bit, but we wanted to get started close to on time, so we figured we'll just let it rip and do the original. Now, some of you might be asking, well, hold on, all right, so we're going to do All-Star Break. This is an All-Star Break show. What do you do on an All-Star Break show? You talk about what you expect in the second half, how you see the second half going. You talk about the trade deadline, and you talk about some of the All-Star festivities. So, although I saw that, with all that being said, let's tap this keg. As always, the show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you download the app, turn on push notifications, so you'll be the first one of your friends to be notified anytime there is a Cubs or White Sox trade. Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com, and also brought to you by Uncle Bud's. 9700 South Cicero, new daily specials. They did a really nice thing for Father's Day. They got something going on there every night. I'm serious. Check their website, check their socials. It's hard to keep up sometimes, but I know they're serving breakfast now, which looks really, really good. For those of you that are having tough weeks like myself, maybe go get yourself a couple drinks and some pancakes or some shit, but you know we've all done it. Uncle Bud's, 9700 South Cicero. All right, so if you're listening to the show and you're not watching it, first of all, start watching the show and subscribe to our YouTube channel, you fucking jerk. And then 2,
subscribe now.
So like right now, like
right
I'll give you a couple seconds.
You know what? If you're in the comments right now, you're watching, you're just tuning in, subscribe. Next 3 subscribers will give you a shout out.
I like it. Although you're going to have to monitor that though, because I'm down to one monitor.
Okay, I got it.
So some of you might have been saying, why is Zoe saying God damn it, Aldo? Well, it's because Aldo is not only our fantastic producer for this show, he also handles the social media when we send out tweets for the live show. Tonight, I mean, I've always given Aldo carte blanche. He makes the titles. He makes them really well. I've never questioned I think there was one title where I was like, Aldo, we can't say that.
Yeah.
In 5 years, there was like one.
I think it was right after La Russa got shut down with some medical stuff.
I think
the Sox were subsequently sucking. I was like, the Sox are dead.
Yeah.
The Sox are dead.
That's what it was. That's what it was. And then he also has carte blanche when it comes to what photo goes on the social medias with the episode. And for tonight's episode, he customized a Lucas Giolito Cubs jersey and put that out front and back for Yeah, already. Well, you're getting the reaction you wanted, Aldo. A
Yeah,
lot of Sox fans already replying to the
very upset.
tweet with "Shut it down." Nope, I don't like that. Gifts. There's gifts galore going on in. So yeah, and make sure you follow us on Twitter, Pinwheels Ivy Pod. And hey, kids, we're on Threads too. You cool.
Threads, thread
Yeah,
it up.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
by
it's
the way,
so
the last
ugly.
time I did this was back right after the regular season, I think. Um, I did it for Jose Abreu, and we all know how that's turning out. So,
Jose's actually tearing the cover off the ball lately.
you know what? He is. I remember a couple weeks ago I said that he was still struggling, but he has
Um,
been better the past.
I'm 95% sure that I told everyone that was doing the victory lap, like, oh, we kept Andrew Vaughn and Jose Abreu sucks. I was like, guys, it's the beginning of June. Maybe we if have you not watched a White Sox game in the last decade? Jose Abreu always starts slow. But anyways, there's a reason why Aldo made that jersey, specifically that player. Luke's is having a tough week, man. So we're not going to get into this, but it's relevant to what we're talking about. Lucas, because he did it publicly, so it's not like we're like digging for news or anything. Lucas
Yeah,
posted on his
he decided.
yeah he
put it-
posted on his Instagram that he and his wife are splitting up. Very cordial. It was a well thought out, well written. I don't expect anything less from Lucas Giolito. I got to make a confession. Didn't even know he was married.
Okay, okay.
Honestly thought he was single.
Well, I
But
think I only know. I think I only knew that he was married because of all his damn charity work that he would do.
oh, we already got
Uh,
a breaking news from our chat. Lucas is not doing too bad in the lady department already. That lasted what 2 days.
okay.
But so
Lucas Giolito back.
back. I think it was 2 weeks ago, the last time I was on the show, where I said Lucas started to play the media card. In his interviews, being like, "I love it here. I want to stay here." Blah blah blah. Because he basically, what I translate that to is, I want to stay here, but now if they trade me, they're really gonna look bad.
Yeah,
You
it was
know?
basically what Stroman. Like Stroman was a lot more like, "Hey guys, these
Yeah,
guys aren't negotiating with me at all." But it was pretty much the same card there. That Lucas was like, "Hey guys, I love it here. Team's struggling, but I still want to be with you guys."
yeah. And he's like, I've been with these guys for a while. So it
Yeah.
was really weird though. He did like a compliment sandwich. So
Mm.
like the one interview, he was like, "Yeah, I want to be here. I want to be here." And then like there was another interview that he did like 2 days later where he was just kind of like, "It is what it is. It's a business. I like my time here, but at the end of the day, they got to do what they got to do." And then as recent as yesterday, Tuesday, he came back and was like, I really want to stay here. Love Chicago. His new boo thing's probably from Chicago, but
Or maybe she's from L.A.
well, we all know, and it's a proven fact that the best looking ladies come from Chicago. So it's just science. So I can see why he wants to stay. But
Maybe from like the Lakeview neighborhood.
yeah, hey, he's got some loot. God damn it. he keeps flashing the picture on the screen to our Spotify and Apple listeners. Um, but all signs are pointing to Lucas is done on the south side.
Yep.
I will say I've always been a big Lucas Giolito fan. I admired his perseverance when he was one of the worst pitchers in baseball, and he came back, and then he made a horrible commercial that talked about it, and then he sucked again, so everyone threw that commercial in his face, and then he came back again, and now
Tough timing.
now he's pretty good again. But the problem for Lucas is this team is just stuck in the middle, or on the bad side of the middle.
A bad side.
Yeah. And his contract's up at the end of this year. So the way the White Sox front office has to be looking at it is, do we let him walk for nothing? Because there's no way he resigns with the White Sox. I don't care how much he says he loves this place. Unless the White Sox run the table in the second half of the season, I don't see him coming back to Chicago if he wasn't a free agent. Or do we trade him and at least get something for him?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the
Well,
Dogs are, yeah, go ahead, Al.
could do qualifying offer.
Could. Yeah,
Could
they
do
could.
that.
They could QO him. Oh, that would suck. Especially after what was that? Shit? It was like about like $2,000 or something like that when they did the last off season when they were talking about his extension or getting something done. It was like they were off by like 5 Gs, and it was the
Oh,
most ridiculous thing in the
his
world.
arbitration. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was,
yeah, they were off by like 5 Gs, and it was just like, oh man.
and then
Uh,
he's
oh,
already
although
declined an
buddy,
extension.
uh, yeah, I just got a photograph of Lucas's new lady. Good for you, Lucas. Go ahead, throw that in
Well, no
there.
wonder that he's fine with the split. There was no sad boy vibes at all coming from Luke. So I was like, "Hey guys, we're getting divorced."
Whew.
Dropping it during the home run derby night.
Yeah, sending it your way right now, Aldo.
Okay, okay.
Lucas is not doing bad, and for all he knows, he can get traded to like the fucking Diamondbacks and be on a first place team in the next
Yeah.
month, within the next 3 weeks. So shout out Lucas, man. I always like Lucas Giolito. I like what he does in the community. I like his kind of look on life. You know who I'm
Folks, I
gonna
can tell
miss.
you this. Folks, I can tell you that Lucas was ready to party in LA. He was already folks, he's been thinking about LA ever since he got with this new girl.
Mhm. Yeah, I tell you what, and I hope somehow, some way he hears this. I'm really gonna miss Rick Giolito, Lucas's dad.
Yeah.
Great guy. I'll never. So for those of you that haven't been with us this whole time, we did an episode. Shit, all what was that? Like 2 years ago?
I think it might have been during COVID season.
Yeah, 2 years, something like that. Where we put. He might show up tonight because you put him in the title again. We put Lucas Giolito in the title of the show, and we're just doing our thing like we're doing right now. And he 100% was just searching his kid's name on Twitter, which is fine. If my son makes it to MLB, I'll probably pull the same shit. And our show popped up. And all of a sudden, we're talking about Lucas Giolito. And in the comment section, I just see Rick Giolito comment. And he's like commenting. I'm like, hi, Rick. That was one of, and it was that show where he told us that he goes, hey, I'll tell you what, Lucas has told me this kid, Dylan Cease, is about to take the league by storm. And then that was 2 years ago because it was before Cease came out and that's why whenever I'm on the 108 shows and they ask for like wild predictions or whatever, I've always just been like Dylan Cease, whatever, because it was Rick Giolito. There's blood in the water though, folks, and the Sharks are starting to circle. Now, I know I do it to an extent where not a lot of, White Sox fans do, but I follow a lot of other baseball's Twitter, and I follow a lot of other baseball's blogs. And the reason why I started to do that, shout out Josh Nelson. And also, congratulations on getting married, Josh. I know you watch the show a ton because you know who Mitch is. But a couple years ago, I noticed that Josh follows like all the head, like top bloggers and beat writers for other teams. I was like, that's a great way to stay kind of in the loop. So I started doing that. I'll tell you right now, the Dodgers fans really think they're going to get T.A. Lucas in a package.
Yeah.
Wild. Ian says, Rick Giolito definitely Google or searches him. Most parents do. I can tell you, I talked to many parents of prospects. I don't doubt it. Like I said, being a relatively new dad, I mean, my kid's not even PC and is not even 3 years old yet. But if he ever like made it somewhat, I would 1,000. I'd be Googling him all the time.
Now, Zoe, would you go off your account, or are you doing a burner to apply?
Burner,
to reply?
100% burner, 100% burner. Because I know me, and I also know how big of an asshole I can be, and so I'm 1,000,000% burner in that up. My name's gonna be Joey Bagga doing what? Oh, you're saying Lucas and TA gone. Just so you guys know, down the road, if you see a young Zawaski prospect on the rise, and all of a sudden, Twitter handle at Joey Bagga Donuts starts arguing with people in the replies, that's me. That's gonna be me. Yeah, what was the return that one of the SM writers told us?
I think it was like Michael Bush.
Michael Bush was the headliner.
He said, I think he only put, I didn't see the video.
He just put and someone else. I didn't watch that shit. But yeah, it's
Dodgers, tough because
yeah.
I mean we talked about it a little during the chat on Wednesday. It would really help if TA was at least okay this year. But he's literally the worst player in baseball.
And that's not us being like tongue in cheek about it or anything. Statistically, folks.
Like statistically, yeah.
Statistically, he is the worst starting player, like a player that's regularly in a starting 9 in baseball.
Tim, it's wild because Tim Anderson is. You can do the analytics, like statistics, like the sabermetrics. You can do just the traditional stats. You can do just scouting him. Hey, how does he look on the field? Does it match the numbers? Everything up and down. He's terrible. The numbers match what you see on the field, the production. He's
cheeks.
Terrible. What the hell happened?
Cheeks. He's the definition of cheeks. This has actually been like a tough thing to like stomach, is watching this fall from grace. I mean, it's been. Wait, I got him. Hey, there he is.
What is up?
Were you just watching Cops? You look all sweaty.
No, it's like over here, and air conditioning is expensive. So
it still doesn't work.
Well, it works. It's just expensive.
It's expensive.
When you're spending all this money going to NASCAR races and whatnot.
When it's 90 degrees out, dude.
It's 94, actually.
You spend the money on AC. Mitch, you seriously look like you just got out of the pool.
Well, I was outside.
Oh, man. What we're talking about right now, and I'm sure
I was listening. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm
Mitch is feeling the heat more than Rick Hahn. Like,
yeah.
But it's been tough to watch. I feel like I really hope he bounces back. Obviously, as a Sox fan, as a TA fan, I really hope he bounces back. And that's what's so weird about the conversation about TA right now, is because of who he is as an individual. So outspoken, and how he talks about himself as the world against me type stuff. If I tweet out, which I did today, like, statistically, Tim Anderson is the worst player in baseball right now. I got 2 DMs today. I bet if he was white, you wouldn't say that. Along those lines, it's burner accounts, you fucking cowards, because I looked into it. But no, I don't care if he's fucking purple, green, blue, whatever the fuck color he is. I don't give a fuck.
I think you've been one of the most outspoken about
how much
putting that down.
Yes, bro. He has a 60. What is it, like a 48 WRC plus?
I think 43.
43, dude.
43. The next lowest is 61, I think, by Kike Hernandez.
And so people know, if you're not like a big advanced metrics person.
Or no, you're right. 47 and whatever it is. Bad.
The average baseball player, like a middle of the road average baseball player, is a 100 WRC plus. Okay, so if someone's 125 WRC plus, they're better than 25% of the league. Yeah, by the average hitter by 25%.
To be in the 13 WRC plus earlier this year.
Exactly. To be in the 40s at the All-Star break is fucking brutal, especially for a guy who has looked around the league, seen how much these shortstops are getting paid. He even did an interview. He's like, "Oh, my time's coming in 2 years. My check's coming in 2 years, buddy. Unless you're going to the currency exchange right now, you ain't getting that check, man."
And just for reference, this is TA's WRC plus 2019 through 2022. 128, 140, 119. Last year was 110. And then you were right, Sal. Right now it's at 43. He is 57% worse than a league average hitter.
43. And now here's something else that you don't normally hear me say on this show. I agree with Ozzie Guillen. I think the White Sox need to. It's almost like they're scared of TA. Like, we're going to take away that leadoff spot, but you still get the bat second. You still get that second spot. You're still top 3, bud. Still, nope,
You're still at the top of the lineup. He's set the table.
Let him bat in the bottom third of the lineup. And as Ozzie said, let him become an RBI guy. I'm all for it. Was that a Greek Islands coffee mug?
It is.
I used to work in a building right behind them. That's why I know that logo. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I'm bottom third TA right now. TA 7 spot. I love it, Dougie.
Oh,
that's fucking great. Dougie,
go ahead, Mitch.
Comment of the night so far.
No, I agree. I think you have to move him down at this point. Like, there's no like he can't even get. Can he even get mad at this point? Like,
how? How does he argue that?
There's no way you can argue it.
43.
Nick Madrigal has more home runs than him. That's insane.
Nicky Barrels, baby.
Billy
Like-
Hamilton's hit more professional home runs than him this year.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not even just like a fall from place. He's like falling off a cliff. No, I think batting him 7th would do him some good. Even with I don't know.
Maybe just put him in the 7th spot. Maybe it takes a little pressure off. He can kind of just relax a little bit, whatever, because he's hitting down at 7. But as Ozzy was saying, there's going to be guys on base. It's a perfect time for TA to do a little opposite field shot. Because when he does get hits right now at the top of the lineup, he gets on base, but no one's bringing him in.
I wonder if the hand injury was more serious than we thought. Because
I'd like to think that, but I've been giving him that benefit of that doubt for too long, man.
That's like the thing. There's no good explanation for it. Because actually, if you look at this hard hit percentage and whatnot, it's kind of similar to what it's been in years past. He's just a little bit. He's not swinging at as many pitches, but the off the field distraction is a real thing. Hitting at a baseball in the MLB is the hardest thing to do.
You'd be completely naive if you didn't think the off the field shit was affecting him just a little bit.
And I think that stuff started coming out near the back half of last year, and then all of a sudden, once it hits the public, so obviously, I think that does have a serious effect.
Healy, I'm absolutely mashing with that kid with the rookie cards on MLB The Show. I got him in my 9 spot. The kid's batting 700. I fucking love it. That's our buddy Healy talking about Jacob Gonzalez, the White Sox draft pick, shortstop from Ole Miss. Did Fids ever send you videos, although?
No, not yet.
God damn.
We'll get those going though. Once they sign, check it on YouTube.
That's
subscribe.
True. But actually,
videos.
I'll probably pull it up through the course of the show when we get talking about the draft. That kid's got a funky ass.
The other weird part in terms of the White Sox and Tim Anderson and the conversation that they've refused to have with them is that you're getting to the point right now. I mean, the White Sox, 16 games under 500, 8 games back, 4th place. I mean, they're buying. They traded for Max Myers or Mike Mayers.
Who gives a shit?
So they are buying. B-Flow for you. They're giving you exactly what you wanted. So they're buying.
Yeah, they're buying. Big buyers.
They're just. I think we briefly touched upon it last week. How at this point it's not a guarantee that the White Sox pick up his option for next year if this continues. It's $14 million, and Jerry.
No,
everybody knows who's the owner. Jerry's going to be like, this team fucking sucks. Cut all the money we can.
I think the Jerry's cheap card is a bit overblown. I think he does spend because they do have one of the top, they had one of the top 10 payrolls in the MLB. They just don't spend it on the right players. I think because given the talent they know he can be and how cheap $14 million is for what he can be as a player, I think they pick it up. Because that's better than what's your alternative? Because the alternative is especially if their goal is
Jacob Gonzalez, baby.
Jacob Gonzalez.
All right, well, let's
give him the Zach Nato treatment.
Yeah, dude.
Well, if you're trying to build around this core group of guys and you're only trading the guys with expired contracts, then in theory they're still trying to contend next year. And to contend, you're gonna need a shortstop. They're not spending the money on a premier shortstop when you can get Tim Anderson, who's been a former All-Star batting champion for $14 million. So I think they pick it up. I think they're shot to let him go.
True. And obviously Elvis is not coming back with this team.
No.
And I guess I shouldn't. Yeah, we got Romy. Romy's on the 60-day IL. He'll be back. Don't worry, Messi. And Montgomery has come back from injury, and he's come back swinging, man. Every night now on Twitter, I see a different Colson Montgomery highlight.
I could see one of those two taking over at second before I could see them.
I agree with you. I think that's going to be the timeline for a guy like Colson Montgomery or whatever. Is they start him at second, ease him into life in the league, and then
I wouldn't be surprised if Montgomery stays in the shortstop position and they move Gonzalez to a third base or second, just based on his athleticism and fielding ability. Because Montgomery's a better athlete between the two.
I completely just forgot about Yohan Moncada again. That's the 3rd time in 2 weeks I forgot Yohan Moncada was on this team. Where was I going to go with this? Oh, so Missy in the comments touched on it. And I know we've said it before a bunch of times on this show, and I'm just going to keep beating that drum. TA is the type of guy where if he goes and looks at that lineup card and he has to scroll his finger all the way down to the bottom third of that lineup, it's going to go one of two ways. It's going to light a fire under his ass, He's going to become the TA we all know and love, or he's going to complain and post cryptic messages on Instagram until the season's over. You know what I mean? Like that's the only two lanes, and I think it's going to be the first one. But also, if they do pick up that $14 million option for next year, now he's playing for money because now he's playing for his next contract. I know 14 mil in baseball terms isn't a lot of money, so he might be sitting back being like, I got 14 mil coming next year no matter what. But if he wants the Dansby Swanson money, the Trey Turner money, all these guys, he's going to have one hell of a second half of the year this year, and he has to be an all-star starter next year.
Yeah.
Like that's where the bar's at for him right now because he's sunken so low. It's absolutely wild.
I saw a comment I posted a couple weeks ago when Baez and Tim Anderson were 1-2 worst hitters in the league, and
oh yeah, they have Sports Illustrated cover.
Yeah. And then somebody commented. I mean, it doesn't perfectly match up for TA because 2019 the White Sox were still building up. They didn't have everybody up yet, so it's not like they were a winning team yet. But the comment was made like, these guys, they thrive more when there's a winning environment. Sox obviously have been a crappy team the past year and a half, 2 years.
They're spotlight
is that
guys.
part of it?
Yeah, no, it is. They're spotlight guys. Look at TA's splits when he plays at Yankee Stadium, when he plays on nationally televised games, when he plays the fucking Field of Dreams game. Those are TA's best games. He is a spotlight guy.
I don't even think it's just necessarily that. Yeah, that is true. But like even on a good team, you're gonna have those dog days in August, regardless. Spotlight's not always gonna be on.
He's having a dog 3 months though, dude.
The mental side, though, is like look at like the last time he had a season remotely this bad was when his best friend died.
Right.
I think the off the field stuff is
people do forget about that because
like hitting. I cannot stress like hitting in the major leagues is like the hardest thing you can do in sports, and then you got to deal with all this side bullshit. Like obviously the numbers are going to go down. Now I don't think they go down like this, but I do think it's a real thing, and that's a legitimate excuse.
So the reason why we even went down this TA road though is because we were talking about who could possibly be packaged with Lucas to get a maximum return. Because let's just call it what it is, folks. Lucas Giolito by himself might net you a top 20, like a top between 20 and 30 prospect in a team's farm. Unless I don't, maybe unless
top 20 or 30.
Buddy, I mean, all right, maybe he'll get you 15 to 25 in the prospect list. He's not getting you a top 10
team
prospect.
Or like,
well, let's say they trade him to the Dodgers. They're not getting a Dalton Rushing or I mean, you're probably going to start talking about guys like River Ryan, Jorbit Vivas, like these guys that are after the top 10. So the reason why we're packaging Lucas is to see if we can get a maximum return. I don't think TA is going to be part of that package. Missy Carroll earmuffs. It might be a guy like Romy, or
that's the thing though. He's injured, right?
They're not trading for Romy.
Well, they're not trading for Romy. He's a throw-in.
Yeah, but if you're going to throw in a guy, especially if Lucas is on a 1-year deal, like to get a decent prospect, they're going to either want a guy with control or a guy that's going to help them win immediately. And Romy is not making the Dodgers any better.
It's going to be
the throw-in for a throw-in.
I know, but the Dodgers do need middle infielders, so this is where
it's going to be like starting pitcher reliever. So it would be like
maybe that's why they went out and signed Myers Michael or Michael Myers or whatever the fuck his name is.
Mike Mayers, come on.
Mike Mayers.
Respect on it. Yes, it would be like Lucas Giolito, and then the highest return you can get right now is Kendall Graven, even though he had the blown save on
that was
Sunday.
So
but like I know it's frustrating to watch as a White Sox fan, but he's still been pretty good reliever numbers-wise.
I will say it. Personal feelings aside, he's had a pretty good year.
I mean, that stupid haircut, but good numbers wise, he's still under contract for 2024, so that's some value there. You could still get to keep him with you.
Yep.
I think that's if you're combining guys to trade, it's like Giolito and Graveman. I have no idea if Liam Hendricks is going to be back anytime soon. That also sucked.
Did Liam win the ESPY? Is that still going on right now?
He is going to win the ESPY. Yeah.
I've never watched the ESPYs a minute in my life, and I'm not changing that now. I'll wait for the tweet.
Right, we'll just retweet the
video.
It's so sad though when you go down the list of like we're talking about all these players the Sox could trade for, and like So I know you're talking about it, like looking at other teams' Twitters for like who they're
Yeah.
like interested in. Like you see a bunch of different guys. It's like Joe Kelly, Kendall Graveman, Tim Anderson. Like
Aaron Bummer. A lot of people think they're gonna get Aaron Bummer.
this is what
Aaron Bummer would be great for the Dodgers.
all these other teams
Cy
and
Young.
fan bases think that all these players in the White Sox can help their team win right now. Why the hell can't we win with these guys? Because that is a lot of play. Usually bad teams, you have one or two good players. The White Sox have like a laundry list of guys that all these other teams want to trade for. If all these other teams want to trade for them and they think they have value, why the hell can't we win with them?
Because it seems like the Sox are a team filled with that last piece for other teams.
Jim Margulis wrote for Sox Machine, wrote a great piece, and I think Josh tweeted out the one big paragraph where like the Sox have always done this, where they have a couple top line, like either good starting pitchers, couple solid position players, and then they just forget to do the rest of the team. They've done it again this season. And it kind of reminds Mitch, you're bringing up like all the guys that all these other teams want. It reminds me of like the 2021 Cubs. When they ripped that apart, they traded like 10 guys. They traded a third of the roster.
Yeah.
Like MLB, like guys on the active roster, I think it was close to half of the 26 players on the active roster they traded. And it's like, well, shit, like how did they get so much interest in this team? Like just flames out at the end of June and July.
So let's talk about possible dance partners. The reason why the Dodgers are always number one on this list is because the Dodgers need middle infield help and pitching. That's basically where the White Sox meat is right now. And also, I really like a potential deal with the Dodgers because 2 of their top 5 prospects are catchers. Now, I'm not expecting them to get a top 5 prospect, but I don't know if they could add something, whatever. But the one thing that the Dodgers have an abundance of in the minor leagues is pitching.
If they're trading for the White Sox, though, especially like Tim Anderson, I don't think they're trading for Tim Anderson.
I don't think
because if they trade for a guy like Tim Anderson, they're probably going to try and extend him. I think they're saving money to try and sign Ohtani. So I don't think they would want to trade for a controllable guy like a lot of these other teams might.
Yeah, a couple teams are going to fall into that category too, because you hear the Dodgers definitely, probably both New York teams.
Tampa Bay, I could see.
Cleveland.
Tampa Bay doesn't really spend that kind of cheese.
No, I could see them trading for a guy like Lucas Giolito, though.
Oh, wait, did you see that shit with Cleveland?
Yeah, that's why I just.
Yeah. Did you see this, Mitch? So they asked Ohtani like who he really wants to play with, and he said Jose Ramirez. Now all these Cleveland people are like, "We got a shot. We got a shot." Ohtani ain't going to Cleveland.
No shot. Yeah.
Get out of here.
By the way, I was looking at
Jenna.
I was looking at MLB's top 100 list, MLB pipeline. The Dodgers have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 top 100 prospects. They're all, the last one is 91st. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 pitchers, a couple infielders.
They could throw us a bone.
Maybe. You mentioned their catcher, because I think that's their number one prospect. I mean, he's not going to get traded.
No.
But general question, like, I know that the side's frustrating because the Sox. I know they have Seb. Grandal is going to leave. Carlos Perez has been up. I'm assuming he's going to get more playing time. You would think.
They need a catcher.
In these types of trades, though, do you go need wise, or because I would rather be like just target the best talent.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about the White Sox is they need pretty much everything. I mean, who are your untouchables right now? Luis Robert.
Cease, I would argue.
I would probably say I'd hold on to Cease.
And then according to John Heyman and his sources, it's Eloy and Andrew Vaughn.
They are so high on Eloy still, which is fine. I get it. I mean, if you take off your homer glasses, though, and really look at Eloy, he's been hitting the ball hard. It's streaky. And that's typically what power hitters do. But
yeah,
the Dodgers have a farm system with 2 top 5 catchers and an abundance of pitching. I've heard the Orioles pop up. Oh yeah, Ian in the comments. I've heard the Orioles pop up a lot for Lucas Giolito
Yeah.
because that's a young, fun team, man. The Orioles are a lot of fun
Orioles
to watch.
#1. I'm pretty sure they have the #1 farm system in baseball still.
Let's
Even
see
with the
what they're
other guys.
cooking with. Let's see what they're cooking. The Orioles just keep bringing guys up, and they're amazing right off the bat.
Yeah.
This is not fair. Well, their top prospect, obviously, Jackson Holiday. Then Colton Cowser is an outfielder. Jordan Westberg, Hessen, the dude with all the consonants in his name, Hessen Jerstad. Yeah, I mean, their top 10 consist of a shortstop, 1, 2, 3, 4 outfielders, 1, 2.
Oh, here we go.
3,
Catcher.
4. Samuel Basallo.
Yeah, there you go. He's in
single A ball. The White Sox thing kind of.
Right, well, they got their catcher for the future in Adley, so they can throw us.
Yeah, but that's the fringe top 100 for Giolito.
Yeah, this
Definitely.
kid, this has been
that kid and Seb, the dynamic duo as we can.
Sam and Seb.
After last week when I kind of made fun of his last name because I was just all in a really bad mood. This Hessen Jerstad kid is a hot commodity right now. I've seen his name pop up in a lot of moves for the Orioles. Ian's a big Basallo guy, so now I am a big Basallo guy because I rock with Ian. Who else though? Now I kind of want this kid because I hope they put him in right field because this would just be from the 108 Gold. Their number 10 prospect's name is Dylan Beavers. And he plays outfield. He's in high A ball right now, though. He's 21 in high A ball, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, he's
maybe he was just drafted. Was he just drafted last year?
The Orioles under gentlemen, they like to draft toolsy up the middle players, especially outfielders. He came when they plucked him out of Cal in the competitive balance round A in the 2022 draft.
Yes, there you go. That makes sense. Just drafted, yeah.
But I mean, could you imagine the 108 Gold that would come out of a right fielder named Beavers? I mean, I found in the flood in the basement, we cleaned out everything. Basement, nothing's in there. We threw out a 20-yard dumpster's worth of shit, which was fucking.
What about their 13th ranked prospect, Hudson Haskin?
It sounds like a dentist.
AAA, 24. He's ready. Judd Fabian?
He was drafted by the A's in 2018. He has a 60 grade run.
Oh, I know. You have to get this guy. The gifts, the memes. Cade Povich. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. As soon as he hits a home run, I am your father is going, or you are the father is going everywhere. But so I've heard the Orioles. I've read a lot about the Dodgers. I'm trying to think because it's really tough to identify the buyers and sellers, or especially the sellers right now. Because of the new playoff format. The Diamondbacks are definitely buyers. And the Diamondbacks are another team who have an absolutely fucking loaded.
That's the good thing about the Sox is that it's depressing because these other young teams who've been building up their farm systems are good this year and they're actually buying, and then the Sox are the team selling. But at least it lines up well. You got top farm systems.
Interesting. Their 8th rate prospect is called Blaze. His name is Blaze Alexander.
Oh man,
he plays middle infield and he can play some third base. He's got a 70 grade arm. Kid's got an arm. But does not hit well. 45 hit.
All right.
55 power though. I mean, he's got some pop. He was drafted out of high school, out of the IMG Academy in 2018. So he's been around. He's in AAA right now on the Reno Aces. We might have to send Fins to go
scout him out for us.
Scout him out.
How about Yu Min Lin?
No,
20-year-old left-handed pitcher.
I will fuck up his name so much. I don't want to do that.
Yu Min Lin. Yu Min Lin. That's fun.
Diamondback's top prospect right now is a kid named Jordan Lawler.
Yep.
He's in AA. Oh man, this kid's got the good 60 grade hit, 55 power, 60 grade run, 55 arm, 55 fielding.
Again, if Tim Anderson was just at least having the weird that he was having last year, these conversations would be a lot more fun. Because then you could really be like, yes.
Ian's been in the kitchen here. Look at what he's cooking up here. Gio for Basayo. It's Basayo, not Basilio either. Stupid Caucasian.
Well-
So,
Although
Basayo.
though, like the conversations might be a little bit more fun, but I think this team's winning a lot more games and more in contention for the division if Anderson's having a year like he had
That's
last
true.
year.
Oh yeah.
Because he's a huge part of that offense, and obviously when he's not going, this team's not going. Not only is he not going, he's been like historically bad.
That was.
I'm trying to
pretty-
remember, and again, it's not the quality. It is a step below, so it's not apples to apples here. But like, think about when the Nationals traded Scherzer and Trey Turner to the Dodgers. Like again, step down with, but you could have like Giolito and Anderson, two top guys at their positions, maybe being
So
traded.
to answer Missy, so the White Sox did draft a catcher named Calvin Harris. For those that don't know, DJ also has the same name.
DJ.
Actually, my wedding entrance song was a Calvin Harris song.
Oh,
But
There you go.
yeah, he's a catcher. Maybe you'll have the Zebby Calvin Harris show.
There
Maybe
you
that
go.
happens. This
I
is weird. I'm usually at a desk and I'm on a couch today, so I keep leaning back and it's I don't know, it's fucking weird. But
it's like you're on a casting couch video.
I couldn't be so lucky. I've definitely felt like I was one of those people getting it from both ends this week. Chinese finger cuffs. Yeah, I mean, I don't
Let's
want to
take
get.
a look. Let's see what the Cubs could offer.
Yeah, what do the Cubs got in the farm? Who are the Cubs trading? Although
I'll tell you right now. You want an outfielder? Owen Casey.
I don't want Owen Casey. I don't know
Well,
who he
You
is.
want
Michelle.
left-handed pop? Okay.
You
Give us
always
Pete. What can we give you for Pete?
Crow
Luis
Armstrong?
Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Luis
gonna
Robert.
say. Yeah.
You're telling me
Uh,
Tim Anderson and Aaron Bummer won't.
Oh, here you go.
What did Brennan Davis do to drop down to 7?
He got injured and he was bad again.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Brandon Davis is a perfect example. Like literally last year, I think he was still the number 1 prospect for the Cubs. 12 months.
What happened to
Bad.
Miguel Amaya too? Fuck.
Oh, that one's because he was hurt again. But Cubs finally have a solid catcher. They're not trading Miguel Amaya.
Okay, fair enough. You got a guy named DJ Hers.
DJ Hurst, want him coming back?
No, I'm good.
Left-handed
I
pitcher.
just we were talking about DJs. Oh, what's up with my boy Ed Howard? Why is he down to 22?
Well, last year
he
he had
hurt?
season-ending hip surgery.
What's he?
And then
He's been in high A right now. Ooh,
He hasn't been good, guys.
no.
He hasn't been good. That's why he's so low.
207, 225, 299 with a 524 OPS.
Yeah, he's got a bum hip.
He's got a bum hip. I mean, you guys can. I know the White Sox are great rehabbing guys. So if give him
That's
get him
true.
in the Sox system, maybe he bounces back with you guys.
Play shorthanded, and we won't put him on the IL.
Oh, Ryan Torbat in the comments. I like that Giolito and someone from the bullpen to the Rangers for. Although, how do you say his first name?
Oh man, Luis Angel.
Okay,
Luis
that guy,
Angel
and his
Acuna.
last name's Acuna. But this is again a purely based off of his MLB Future Stars card. He's fucking awesome. I mash with him.
Was it the Marlins pitcher who came up this year, or was it last year?
It was last year. I know who you're talking about.
Everybody, I remember. I was like, I mean, I play
He
a
was-
little MLB the
He
show.
was
and
unhittable in that game, dude.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh man, Marlins just had like greatest pitcher on earth."
He was unhittable in that game last year, dude. Like he had
Cabrera, right? Something like that.
Cabrera, yeah. So Acuna there is a middle infielder in AA ball right now. He's 21. They signed him right out of Venezuela in 2018. 55 hit, 50 power, 55 run, 55 arm, 55 fielding. I feel like every time I'd say that, I don't know if you guys watch that. I think you should leave show on Netflix. Either of you watch that?
Yeah, where he's ordering
with me?
all the
Yeah.
fast food.
Give me 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 hot dogs, 55 tacos. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing that right now. But I would not be mad about this. Might be one of my favorite trades that we've been proposed on the show right now. Giolito and someone from the bullpen for this Acuna kid from the Rangers, because his estimated time up in the MLB is next year. Again, he's in AA right now. He's 5'8", 181 pounds. He, like most players that it seems like they come out of like the Venezuela, Dominican Republic area, he swings a bat that looks like it's 50 times too big for him. Like, like it all goes back to what's his face? Yankees, Cubs, left fielder, second baseman, Soriano.
Soriano, yeah.
And Soriano used to literally like cut down a tree and like shave it into a bat before the
Yeah,
game.
the heaviest bat.
The
Yeah.
bat was just massive, but that's how this kid looks. And hey, man, that trade I'm okay with.
I got another one for you. Here we go. Guys need pitching. You guys need a catcher. Cubs need pitching. Maybe relief help. Giolito, and then you get Moises Ballesteros, Cubs catcher. He is 19 years old. He's an advanced A-ball. And then pitching, you get Caleb Killian, starting pitcher.
You really are trying to pawn off this Killian kid, so that makes me nervous.
That's the first time I've mentioned him.
No, I've heard a lot of Killian.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard this guy's name before. And who's the catcher?
Moises Ballesteros.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
name.
I had to scroll all the way down to number 19.
He was good.
Look at his numbers.
55 hit, 50 power, 20 runs, so he's Grandal. 50
Exactly.
arm, 54 or 45 field, 55 burgers, 55 fries. With 2 teams this year, he's got a slash of 264, 389, 426, OPS of 815.
Jordan's gonna love him. He's gonna pass off the Grandal.
I mean, that literally
we
would
love
be
this guy?
that. It looks like it would be Grandal passing down the torch. But although, in all seriousness, I know it's like a running bit on the show where you just try to get the White Sox and Cubs. I don't think the White Sox and Cubs are going to trade again for a while.
Probably not. I mean,
That's
right
just
now,
Yeah,
it's just
I really-
the last time everybody lost.
yeah. It was, I mean,
I think the Cubs still came out better on that deal, though.
They did. Well, yeah, because you guys closed it out, right? Because the last piece was AJ Pollock, and then he signed elsewhere.
yeah.
So, yeah. Cubs still have
I-
Magical.
I don't foresee
Cody
the Cubs
Hoyer's
and
hurt again.
Sox picking up the phone for each other, and especially not like this year. Like time heals all wounds a little bit, but you gotta let that one go because the White Sox obviously won the Eloy trade, and then the Cubs got the best of that Magical Kimbrel deal, and so scores tied. I think we just leave it at that, and everybody goes home.
We're tied. I think everybody's came out bad.
That's
all
true,
those
too.
after all that, because look where we're at. Cubs 7 games out. Sox 8 games out.
Both in absolute dog shit divisions too. So
Um,
I just don't. I mean, it's fun to do this now, but like, I really just don't see a world in which they trade with each other this year. Especially.
So we're talking about Lucas Giolito, but the other guy who has been coming along and was in trade rumors this past week, Lance Lynn. Are you ready for him to get traded?
Ready? No. Understand it? Yes. Like, and you know what? I almost want him to trade Lance at this point. Not because I want to see Lance on a different team, but he ain't getting any younger, man. Get him to like the Diamondbacks or the Orioles or somebody who
The Rangers are apparently the
the
team showing
yeah.
strong interest.
send him back to the Rangers, dude. Give me that Acuna kid. But yeah, Lance has only helped his trade value, especially with his last couple outings. This last one against the Blue Jays, where he just came in. That's a good lineup too.
He's a
That was-
second half player.
Yeah, that was not bump slaying. But I want Lance to go to a contender. I want Lance to go to someone that's going to make the playoffs.
I want Lance to go where we get the best package back.
Well, at the end of the day, yeah. But I hope for Lance's sake that comes with a contender. And again, that's what's really screwed up about everything now with this new playoff format. It's really kind of hard for teams to figure out if they're going to be buyers or sellers. You know, because like with this new format, there's 2 more teams that are like, we can make it. We can make a run here. You know, so.
Well, that's good for the Sox, though, because a player like Lance, especially with the year he's having, usually you're not getting a huge return. But maybe if you get like a couple fringe contenders all of a sudden placing a bid on Lance, then Texas is more inclined to spend a little extra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're one of the few sellers with like a bunch of players of value. Because there's not many sellers that you could like.
Yeah, so like right now,
like the Royals, they got no one to sell.
Yeah, unless they want to change Witt.
Right now, there are only the Tigers, the White Sox, the Royals, and the A's. They're all 10 games or more behind the wild card. The Twins, Angels, Mariners, Red Sox, and Yankees are all within 5 for the 3rd wild card spot. And then the National League is a little more top heavy.
Yeah.
because it's really the Brewers, Phillies, Giants, Diamondbacks, Marlins that are in the wild card race here.
And I mean,
Cubs 6.5.
it seems like you get, especially in the National League, like teams like the Braves, they don't need to trade for anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they
right.
just we're
Like
good.
reliever, like there's
Yeah.
like a reliever for like nothing. And
Yeah, it's
that's-
like our whole infield made the fucking all-star team. We're good. Like, and we have the best player in the league in right field.
So right now, I think in the National League, because the Mets are seven games back in the wild card, and like I mean they're way behind in the NL East, but I think they'll still make a run here. But besides them, I think there's really only 4 teams who aren't buyers or are going to be selling: Pirates, Cardinals, Nationals, and the Rockies. So
So
4 and 4, that's 8 teams who I think right now are kind of clear sellers.
what I think has a good chance of happening, that one team, maybe not the White Sox, but one team will strongly benefit from is Cohen in New York panic trade.
Maybe.
I mean, talk about heat. That man went out and spent $1 billion on a team that is just not doing well.
Yeah, I mean, even San Diego. I mean, the Padres as well. And who's the guy who's made all the crazy trades at the deadline the past few years?
Yep.
It's Bob Preller now, San Diego.
Yep. Bob likes to wheel and deal. I didn't
The
hear
Padres are
this.
6 games back in the wild card, and
The
they're
Cardinals threw out the white flag already?
Yes, I think the Cardinals. I saw a tweet today. Their GM is like, "We're gonna sell," or "We're gonna." I think the quote was, "We're going to trade players."
Interesting.
Dude, the Cardinals. The Cardinals are in last place. They're
Give us,
38 and 52.
They don't have any starting pitching. Like you look
None.
at it, like their pitching's brutal.
I mean, just
Even Flaherty, who used to be
Sox should buy, trade for Arenado.
yeah, I was gonna say let us hold Nolan Arenado for a little bit. We'll give him back.
You guys
But
don't want Miles Michaelis?
he ate a lizard once.
Yeah.
it's tough to
That was
pull
his
in the.
back in the
I
jungle.
remember that story, Mitch, because when I think the Cubs were in the mix to sign him, I'm like, why is this guy named the Lizard King?
Arenado might move. Ooh, Healy, you giving us a little inside scoop here because I would love it.
I think Heyman had that as.
I'm a massive Nolan Arenado fan, and I hate that I have to like root for a Cardinals player. So I would love to see him on a different team. Just not a fan of Cardinals fans. And I know Mitch, that's where you live now, but still.
It's all good.
But Paul in the comments here said, name the top 5 starters on the market. That's tough to do though, because you can name 5 guys that you think are more likely to get traded, but there's no like set. It's not like a free agent list where it's like these guys are on the market. You know what I mean? So like you don't really know. You could start, you could start looking.
I mean, I think Giolito's up there for sure.
He's definitely top 5 for sure. I would put Lance probably in top 10.
Like I could maybe I just don't see the Padres. The Padres are in a weird spot where they're also a team who spent a lot of money. They're underachieving, and they're now they're 43 and 47, 8.5 games back of the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks in the West, 6.5 back in the wild card. They could trade Blake Snell if they just stumble out.
Fire, dude.
Yeah,
Blake Snell's been pitching his
and if
ass
Blake
off.
Snell has been, he just on fire the past month and a half, he could like potentially be the top.
Well, I don't know if you heard Alex Rodriguez hard-hitting journalism with Juan Soto when they were interviewing him. He asked him what they had to do in the second half, and Juan was like, "Hey, we're gonna win more games."
I don't. So I
like,
I watched the All-Star festivities and the All-Star game 1,000,000% on mute. I do not.
I just remember that during that time when they went to A-Rod, David Ortiz, and Derek Jeter, and they just kept paying towards them.
Popcorn in the front.
Yeah, they were just eating popcorn. A-Rod didn't talk for the fact. Not that I wanted to hear from A-Rod, but he was just eating popcorn. David Ortiz was making Red Sox Yankees jokes that it was funny the first 1,000 times. Like I don't care.
Hold on.
I have no clue why they keep doing that.
Breaking news. I just started typing in Juan Soto into Google, and the first thing that came up was Juan Soto White Sox.
Well,
shock the world, Jerry.
What have you been searching? They
shock the world, Jerry. Shock the world. I don't know. I wanted to see what Juan had left on his contract. So in 2023, he was ARB 3. Next year, he's ARB 4. And 25, he's a unrestricted free agent. Could that be a big name that gets dealt? You get a nice haul for Juan Soto.
You would get a nice haul.
That was some of the talk last year. Remember, people were like, "Well, if the Padres are going for it, but if they don't make it, maybe they'll just trade Juan Soto in the offseason."
You get a nice haul for Juan Soto right now, and it's not like I know the Padres are having a very underwhelming season, but you trade. It's not like the White Sox trading Luis Robert, where that's like easily your best player gone.
Oh,
Juan Soto was on a team with Tatis and Manny Machado, and like
they got so much money
Bogarts.
locked up in those guys, though, in those long-term deals. I think they got to take advantage of the window while you have them all in your core.
True.
So that's why I don't see them trading Soto.
I just thought of the
makes
guy
sense.
who would be the top starting pitcher in the trade market, and I mean, I think they've come out and said that they're not going to do it. But again, 3 weeks,
Ooh.
they're not really in it. I mean, Shohei Ohtani could be traded in.
Now, how stupid was that interview? He doesn't want to be known as the guy that traded one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Would he rather be known for letting that guy walk?
Yeah, just walk for nothing.
Full free. No, dude. What a dumb. No wonder
That was
ESPN's
so
laying
stupid.
everybody off. That was fucking terrible, man. I'm so glad he got his comeuppance on Twitter, though. Good. Because I heard the question and I just stood, I like stopped what I was doing and was like, what? No, he's not coming back. I think we can all agree on that. Unless the Angels literally offer him like 3 years, $1 billion.
So the big reason the Giolito trade talk really kicked up, I mean, it's kicked up for a couple weeks, but especially on Wednesday,
I'm glad you're bringing this up.
was the White Sox released their scheduled starting pitchers for the weekend against Atlanta. Not in the top 3. So do you guys is something in the works here? Is Lucas getting in some like hammer time? Why is Lucas not pitching in Atlanta? Is a trade like in the works right now?
It very much could be. It could be like in hockey when a guy's about to get traded and all of a sudden they tell him just to stay on the bench. He's out of that line. The line changes.
Because normally you see this. This is pretty normal. Like a day or like the week of leading up to the trade deadline, where guys get held out, just prevent injury, just something freak happens. But 3 weeks before, you would imagine that. I don't know why they're saving him or what.
They think the Mets are a better
Is
match.
my mic picking up how much bones are cracking when I pull my knee? Oh my goodness!
I didn't hear.
That sounds like like cracking your hand knuckle. I'm so fucking old. But anyways, there's a lot of baseball fans, and I want to bring this. Oh well, although to your point, it's very suspicious.
Yeah,
that he's not in the. And now all I can think about is that song. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. But the White Sox definitely are. There you go, Drew. There's your TikTok. I won't even charge you for that one. It's weird. He's not hurt. He's pitching well.
Well, Kopech hasn't. Let's just be devil's advocate. It is weird, by the way. But if we're gonna go grasp for straws here, Kopech hasn't pitched in a while. So they probably want to start, that's probably why he's getting the first start. And then you got to reset the order. Otherwise, it's going to be all out of whack. So then you just go down the line. And then they go back to season.
And you know what? It could be.
I'll get the first start against the Mets.
It could be one of our White Sox writers, Aldo, just said, I just saw that Giolito's Cub jersey and I almost threw up.
You're welcome, everybody.
It
Why
could
is
be
he number 34?
Well, that's the thing. I try to get crafty, but MLB doesn't let you do current players on other teams. So I had to change the number because I couldn't do 27. I was trying to think of something that would also kind of offend Cubs fans, 34, Kerry Wood, but it's mostly Sox fans who are tormented.
So I'm curious as to what you guys think about this. And in the comments in the chat or whatever, please chime in. I see a lot of people, especially on Twitter, because that's where I basically live, saying like around this time of year, like, stop posting trade rumors or like, this is so stupid. People, I love it. To me as a fan, this is like arguably one of my favorite times of the year because it's like, ooh, could this guy go here? And then you start making up scenarios in your mind. Like I love in our chat right now, people are just like, where is it at? Josh Hader trade maybe, Juan Soto maybe. You know what I mean? Like you start thinking about things. That's how I choose to enjoy it, and I mean, obviously, it's good content for the show and everything like that. Trust me, when you start doing a show like this for long enough or own a website, your view of sports changes drastically. But I love it. I don't know. Are you guys on the same page, or does it get annoying to you?
I don't mind it because like you said, Zoe, we've been on Twitter sports, like, I mean, you longer than I think,
Right.
and I have, but I think we've gotten to the point where, like, yeah, every fan base is going to do the overreaction one way or another. We're all going to want the top prospects. We're all going to want to trade the bad
Right.
players to get good players. So you kind of
Good
get
strategy.
numb to the craziness, the outlandish proposals. But I think, especially like with our team struggling, it's like, who can, like, to have some fun? Sure, why not?
Right. And I mean, I don't know.
I think it gets more annoying, I think, in the off season, just because it's a longer period of time. Like, it's 4 months of just.
That's fair. That's fair.
But during like a 3-week rush of just throwing anything at the wall, sure, why not? Have fun.
I don't mind it because, like, one is if you're going in there taking everything with a grain of salt, because like most of these people have no idea.
Oh, and they take it so serious too.
Like the Cubs Sox trade, for example, got broken by like Katy Perry's booty hole. Like, no one else can talk about. And
We
so,
all know that I know that guy.
Yep.
I actually know Katy Perry's booty hole.
But like, as long the way I look at it, kind of like going along the lines of like Joe was saying, like, I used to love listening to the Herd, and I know he's like full of hot air most of the time, but like even in his bad takes, he will make you think. So like a lot of these trade rumors, it's the same thing. I'll see it, I'm like, oh, that's interesting, could happen, and like it'll make, as long as it's like making me think about stuff, then like, yeah, I don't mind seeing all this stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I will, just like I just did right now. You know, Healy brought up Juan Soto. I haven't looked at Juan Soto's contract, you know, probably since he got traded to the Padres. But I think it makes me a better, more knowledgeable fan. But it also makes you start thinking about. I like putting together scenarios, and you know, some people are just. Well, there's two people that I find comical. It's the ones that have the most homer, one-sided, ridiculous trade. Like, yo, the Dodgers would totally give us Bobby Miller for Giolito straight up. It's like, no, they won't, dude. And then two, and this is the one that I see more often. I think to the day I die, you guys can put this on my tombstone because you're both younger than me, so you'll probably be around still. But I don't get why people take it personally when you talk about a trade rumor that involves their favorite player. Like, although I guarantee you right now, there's at least 5 people that are like legit pissed off that you put Giolito on a Cubs jersey.
Oh, very.
And it's like it's not that serious, guys. Like, but I know, but like, if let's say I just tweet out like maybe the White Sox would be interested in trading, I don't know, like Tim Anderson or something like that, I'm gonna get hammered in the replies. And it's like, bro, he doesn't even know you. Like, that's not your friend. Like, this is still, and I know it's very cliche to say, but this is still a business. Like,
the other part that I like to
Mr. Robert. Oh, sorry, Aldo, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Luis Robert.
Luis Robert's going around blocking random people that talk shit.
That's not his real account.
You know,
there's no way that's his real account. It has like 400 followers.
I didn't even look.
Yeah, I'm
It'd be hilarious if it was.
I can see it though.
I'm blocked by it, but it has like.
So, what did you say about Luis?
What did you say to Luis?
I don't know. I think it's
How do you know it only has 400 followers? You can't see it. You're blocked.
No, you can still see the follower count.
Can you?
I believe so.
I would know. I'm nice, Luis. I wasn't blocked.
Apparently,
he's blocking everyone, so he can just he can only get followers from the OnlyFans models.
Oh, that's true.
He's trying to weed out everybody else.
And he's followed by Domino's Pizza.
Oh, it's him.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I gotta look it up. I don't even think he has Twitter.
All the trade talk. It not only does it get you thinking about other obviously guys already in Major League Baseball, but when you do start to talk about prospects, even if it is like outlandish at times, you like go into a team system, you look at the top prospects. You know, you look deeper in their list and you're like, oh, well, this guy, you know, a 20-year-old at single A, what's he doing?
Right.
You do at least get to learn a few more about players and other teams.
No, you do.
Yep.
I found though, especially like even if it makes sense, because I used to have to do a lot of these for like fan sided, and you'd like dig into like, oh, like 3 players they could trade for Lucas Giolito. So like you'd be doing just that, but you don't know how much. Like certain organizations will value a guy more than others, even if it makes
Yeah.
sense on paper. There's just guys inexplicably that like no, like they want to keep them in their system. So it's kind of just like there's really no point in doing it.
No,
Yeah.
I get you there, and it just always just fascinates me, the people that take this shit like really fucking personal. Like, how dare you put together a trade package that includes Lucas Giolito? It's like, bro, he's on the last year of his contract. The team's going nowhere. It makes sense. Like, this is what's happening.
On the flip side, I love the dudes who go on the crusades where they go on the crusade to like, I want my team to trade for this guy, and they'll
Yeah.
be on it every day. And it's like half a joke, but like there's some seriousness to it.
hmm
Like for the Cubs, obviously first base has been a shit show this year, and there's just one guy I follow, and he wants like, again, it's not realistic, but like Pete Alonso's the guy, right? First
Sure.
base slugs, like
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
I've heard
But
of
I
him.
just love the just let's get Pete Alonso.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, sometimes though, you could be really right about something, like, I don't know, signing Brandon Drury, but
Well, I was gonna say 2019. All the Cubs fans, we knew it, like needed kickstart in the offense. Everyone was like, trade for Nick Castellanos. The Cubs trade for Nick Castellanos. He was amazing.
I forgot he was on the Cubs. Holy shit.
Obviously, it didn't work out because they just didn't have a bullpen and couldn't win at the end. But that was like the dream scenario where like the team traded for the guy that all the fans wanted, and he was great. That was cool.
He was electric when he did that two-handed bat
Oh,
slam. Like, I'm not even a Cubs fan. I was like, damn, that was cool. I wish I had Nick Castellanos.
Charles the Cat. that was
Charles the
other
Cat, dude.
one. Yeah.
Shout out Charles the Cat. Well, the fake insiders is where I get annoyed. That's
Yeah,
I do get annoyed at the fake insiders.
That I'd be very hypocritical if I didn't say that annoys me. The fucking food accounts need to stop.
I haven't seen too much from
No.
Yeah, they died down. What happened to all the
Well,
sources?
they called out the one guy, the
Oh, yeah.
cheesy beef or whatever. They found out who was really running it,
Oh no!
and they started tweeting like he would tweet something from Cheesy Beef, like, I'm hearing this and this, and they'd be like, really, Mike, or something. I don't remember his name, but all of a sudden he went dark.
What
it's
was
something
a
like
tough
this.
look.
dog, foot-long Comiskey dog or whatever.
It was
Yeah,
a tough look
I'm
during
really-
the managerial search.
Yeah, I'm really okay if food accounts went away. Like,
Oh,
it was funny for like a week, maybe not even, but like it's
No, it was
done.
annoying as hell. And then the people, the worst was not even the guy doing it, would be all these mouth breathers in the comments. Like, really? Like, oh my God.
Whoa.
Like that.
Or the people that retweet it and shit like that. Like, it's just like, dude, what are you're smarter than that, dude. Like, and I know now this is going to be actually a really weird trade deadline season because of the whole Twitter verification bullshit.
Oh yeah,
So you can't just look for the check mark anymore.
that's true. Because
I'm
even
a big-
that what have I seen lately? That one Elon Musk AOC has been tricking people.
Yeah, it's just, oh man, this is gonna get.
I
really-
don't
so-
understand his business plan. I will die on the hill that he is not as smart as everyone gives him credit for.
No,
He's
dude. If it,
Bad. I don't know either, Mitch.
yeah, I mean, I don't
Like,
think that's.
who
I don't
makes
think
the-
that's as. I don't think that's like as hot of a take as you think it is.
Oh, you would. I mean, yeah, probably not.
I know that there's like that
Everyone got
weird.
absurd, like they adore you.
Yeah, they have that weird church of Elon people that like worship him. But like, if his dad wasn't absolutely like filthy rich, you would have never known who Elon Musk was right now. Just saying.
Shut up. PayPal, that was good.
Yeah, PayPal's solid. Paul, I'm gonna respectfully disagree there, bud. Yeah.
I think it's cool to troll. Because I remember when they broke the Joe Espada news, and everybody jumped on it. It's like, yeah, I can confirm it's Joe Espada. And it's like,
Yeah, and I
can
mean,
you, can
I
you
always
confirm it's Joe?
yeah, and I laugh. Although when you do stuff like can't confirm that he
Can't
confirms,
Can
and like
confirm.
that
is a
stuff's
great
funny.
line.
yeah, that's funny. All right, we'll probably keep doing that this year. But like, yeah, Reddit's a good place to get your info.
Actually, I was thinking about when you mentioned Mitch. I think you mentioned Katy Perry's booty hole
Oh.
earlier. That
At
you
this
were
point,
searching.
why not, Yumper? I mean, he said the
Hey.
A's are calling up their 1 and 3 prospects.
I mean, yeah,
Showcase for Giolito.
it's the last time Oakland is going to be able to see him.
Ooh, somewhere Fitz is smiling.
Somewhere Fizz just got a boner.
So we got Tyler Soderstrom and
Did I-
Zach Geloff.
It's been a while since Reddit has broken the news. I need a good Reddit rumor.
Speaking of Oakland, so like I saw on Twitter that like the fans are passing out those cards, and in the 5th inning they started chanting like "sell the team." Like I watched pretty much all of that All-Star game. Did that like I didn't hear that happen? Was that like
No.
did that actually happen? Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it happened." I was like,
Oh. Well, hold on
I
real
missed
quick.
that.
Mike Perez says there's a Connor Bedard account with a blue check mark, but it's been even says parody account in the bio. It almost has tweets that go viral like it's actually Bedard. I've
Oh
seen
yeah,
that.
I've
like,
seen that
I've
one.
seen that
I've
account
seen-
like 50 times.
I was like,
It
wait,
drives
what?
me fucking insane, Mike. It 100%
Someone
does.
did. I forget. They didn't do. Obviously, they didn't do the username because you can't change the username. But they changed like their like Twitter avatar name. It was like
Yeah.
pretending to be the White Sox. I got fooled for like half a second. I was like, wait, I have to reread the quote because they were making fun of.
So annoying now, man.
It
You
was
have to read.
it was
Yeah.
it was funny because it was blatantly obvious. But there was like a quote from Jacob Gonzalez, the first round pick. I was like, I'm excited to join a team with that's going to provide me with no help. Can't wait to go out there, get a couple practice swings in, and just do it all by myself. And I like I was about to send it to you guys. I'm like, wait, is this a real quote?
Yeah.
And like I had to like reread. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I saw the actual username. I'm like, oh, okay. It's just
That's the other
somebody
thing
trolling.
that's the other thing that's been super annoying is the fake quote tweet pictures.
Oh,
Yeah.
People fall for that shit too much too, dude. That shit's annoying as fuck. It's like Tani's picture, and it's just like fuck them crackers, and people are like, oh, he really said it. The picture within a. It's like no, dude.
Especially because I mean, obviously people do it go viral, but like it'll be like whatever fake websites like butt crack sports or whatever dumb shit.
Yep. Butt crack sports. That might be a new.
Let's start that
URL on the
website.
Yep. Liam Hendricks got the Jimmy V speech or Jimmy V award.
I think they announced that ahead of time because I got sent an email like Liam's gonna win this. Do you want credentials for it?
He thanked his
Oh, do you want
wife-
credentials for it, Mitch? You should have gone.
For
Why
one
are
day.
you not at the ESPYs?
Why would I go for one day for an award I already knew was gonna win?
You have to pay for your own
I'd have to be back
travel.
the next day. Yeah, like that was the thing. I'd have to pay for all my yeah.
You come
Your
on.
stay- and it's in
Look
LA,
at
right?
all that money you're saving on AC, and you can buy a ticket to LA to go fucking to the ESPYs. You got all that sweet AC money, dude.
I'd have to be back the next day though.
You have PTO.
Bump into Kim K at Novu.
And I guess that is true.
Yeah, dude.
It's bad with the AC right now. It kind of looks like you ever see that Seinfeld with like George in the meeting? Like I feel like everything I say, it looks like I'm lying because I'm like sweating,
That's
trying to
funny.
get away with something.
Someone started a Twitter account called Sweaty Mitch and just
Sweaty
screenshot this
Yeah, turn the camera off. That's a bad idea.
and have everybody
No.
and just tweet fake inside information from that account.
Mitch is getting upset.
Mitch is getting upset. There it is. Yeah, that shit is. You are glossy.
So I was like, okay, like I
glossy's a
actually have
nice way to
touched
say it.
the AC. I was out in the middle of the heat all day trying to solve some murder mystery in Mexico, Missouri. It's a shit show.
There's a
Time out.
Mexico,
There's a
Missouri.
Mexico,
Time out.
Missouri.
Swear to God, there's Mexico, Missouri. There's
We're
also
looking this
Paris,
up right
Missouri. Yeah, no, you can look it up. I was just there. I did a report about a guy that
Mexico.
mysteriously died.
Mexico, Missouri. Son of a bitch.
The
Oh,
locals call it
man.
Mexico because there's a lot of drugs there. There's a lot of heroin addict. Oh,
So is that what they mean when all the people from St. Louis tell me to go back to Mexico? They
yeah.
just want me to go a little
They just want you
few
to go to
miles
Mexico,
over.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Because right now their population is 11,500 people.
Well, it's one less because some guy mysteriously died.
Oof.
Not my Mexico.
Not my Mexico.
That's funny. I see you learn something new every day, kids.
Well,
Stick to
that's
Tim
why I
Rose
look
and
so glossy. I was standing out in Mexico all day. So,
Ivy. Yep, there you go. That's what you should. That's how you should have phrased it.
So
but
over
the
under,
AC
guys.
is true. I don't use my AC. I saw the bill last time, so I've cut back. I only use it on special occasions. If I have
Oh
people
man.
but
Dude, I gotta completely sidetrack everything right now. Puppy farts are the worst thing in the world. They're fucking. I have two of them sitting right over there, and one of them it's just punching me in the face like Mike Tyson right now.
what are you feeding it? Beefarino?
Yeah, what do you
No, dude, it's like the good shit, like the nice, like the recommended puppy food. And
high
they
in
just-
fiber? Yeah, it's just getting
so
it out.
between that and me having a 2.5-year-old that is now just discovering how funny farts are, like it's fart madness in this house right now. Just fart madness.
I'm
He
sure
lo-
this is thrilled.
No, she could probably hear me because I'm not in the basement anymore. She's probably up there like motherfucker. Yeah, but I don't know. Did you guys watch all the All-Star stuff?
Yeah.
I missed most of the home run derby.
this has been a weird question now it's not a weird question, but it's weird that I've seen it in like 3 different group chats, like, separate sets of friends and family and stuff like that. Do you like the 10 out format, the old school format, better than the current one?
I've been starting to see the debate that they should go back to it, and people are like, I want to see just longer home runs and not as many. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of stuck in between because I do like how I do like this current one
Mhm.
or the 4 minutes because like the before guys would take a whole bunch of pitches,
Yep.
but
This was so much more exciting.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like I'm because like back when Stanton was like that was in Miami and that was the time when he was hitting like 500-foot bombs.
One of my
So like it still
favorite
happens.
one of my favorite derbies was the Sosa Roid Rage Derby in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He was hitting it to like the back of the dome. It was like touching the back of the dome.
Oh,
Like
I think
he
it was going
hitting
out. It was going over the
fucking
fucking back of the stage.
nukes. And so the argument I would have for the 10 out thing is that they do get to catch their breath and they will hit farther home runs, but we live in a time now where attention span is like 0.02 of a second. And so this new format where it's just nuke after nuke and boom, 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 the cameras can't even keep up with it. That's probably my biggest complaint.
That's the problem, yeah.
It's
Actually, the StatCast one, as annoying as the announcers were on that, was a little better because it was very easy to track where everything was being hit, and they had a camera on the batter from behind the plate the entire time. So I almost like that broadcast.
This is
What
so
if they
sad. This
do?
is such a sad comment and so true. This says the highlight of the season for me was one single round on the home run derby.
The sad thing is that round 2, he would have beaten both
he
the
wa-
guys on the other
yeah.
side of the bracket.
Yep.
Yeah.
Total.
Well, I'm glad he lost now because he hurt himself.
Hurt himself.
He's fine. He's fine, though.
But going back to the format thing, I'll just do this because it's in the namesake of NASCAR. But like nostalgia does not always equal good. Like for NASCAR this year, they brought the All-Star race back to North Wilkesboro, which is a track.
There's an All-Star race?
Yeah. Pretty good, yeah. If you win a
Wait,
race,
how is that any different from?
So you have to win a race to get in, and then
Oh,
they have 2 spots like that's an open. So like
Okay.
everyone else in the field that didn't win a race from the year before can go, and you have to fight to get the last 2 spots, and then everyone else.
Okay.
And then they race for $1 million
Get up.
points. But anyway, they brought it back to
Okay.
North Wilkesboro, which is the first time a major stadium of like any type has been like closed down, considered like a national historic landmark, and then brought back to life. So they revived this thing. It's like a huge deal. Everyone was all excited. Well, there's a reason it closed down in the first place. Like that racetrack sucked ass. And then sure enough, they go back there and the race sucked ass. It's the same thing with the home run. There's a reason they switched it. It was not exciting with the 10 out format. Sure, they were hitting bombs. This one's a lot better. Are there some things that could be cleaned up? Yes.
But
the new time-wing format is a lot more exciting. Same with the bracket format. Like it's nostalgia does not always equal good.
But I do want to talk about that first round because I will give Adley Rushman, which I'm a big Adley fan, just like right out of the gates. I want to say that switch hitting catcher who can hit with pop, and he seems like a good guy. I'm all about that action. But for him to come out and hit that many nukes from the left side, take his break before his additional time, and then come back out on the right side and go, what do you go, like 7 for 7 or 7 for 8? Hitting nukes. I mean, that was fucking impressive to me. I was like, okay,
Across a little douchey.
Douchey.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
That's why he lost. You know, if he would have stayed on his better side.
No, he should have started on the right side. He shouldn't have never batted on the left-hand side. He probably did it because some nerd told him like the wind current up in there will take you better if you go on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, he goes 7 for 8 on the right-hand side. But I thought that was very impressive. And then like they keep showing like his whole family and like his dad pitched to him. It was a great story, whatever. And then Drew made a fucking really good TikTok about this. And then Luis Robert just came out and just pissed on it. Like it's like that episode of The Simpsons when Ralph gives Lisa the Valentine on national TV. And if you rewind it, you could actually see the point where his heart breaks. Like it was Luis. But that's the thing with Luis Robert, dude. It doesn't look like he's even trying. He's just like
he just goes up
easy power. Yeah,
he's hitting bombs. Oh, it was great. That was fantastic.
It was such effortless power, dude. He's just like some of these guys are like grunting and like getting all into their hack, and like Luis is just like, yep, ping 484. He had like 6 of the farthest home runs in the Derby. It was crazy. So whoa, someone's happy.
CONCACAF semifinals action. So
Oh, okay. Oh, I think
USA
USA's
Panama and penalties right now. I don't know what
Oh,
just. Well, I don't
shit.
know what just happened.
Yeah, I got yelled at because I said there was no professional sports on tonight. Did you see that Twitter thread?
I
Can we
saw
talk
that
about
back
that
and
for a
forth, yeah.
second?
There's like, does that count as a professional sport if it's like an international?
Well, and like people, so hold on. I want to talk about this Twitter thread. I'm gonna pull it up for a second because I want to know what I did wrong. All I wanted from this guy was a fucking yes or no answer. That's all I wanted. All I wanted from the guy. Hold on, I'm gonna find it and pull it up. Where'd he go? Huh? I think he deleted it all.
Oh no!
Did he? Let's see if I can
No.
find it.
I only saw I only saw a couple messages. Did I?
Oh
miss
no! I was looking under the wrong thread.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Here it is now. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. This guy's gonna get a free ad. Hold on.
Your answer. I'm reading it back now. So yes.
All I wanted to do was a fucking yes or no answer, dude. Like, I don't know why this was so hard for this guy to understand. So, you guys can see the screen now.
Yes.
All right. So I said there's no professional sports. This guy goes USA versus Panama 6:30. I said, is that considered professional? Honest question, because I know how sometimes you could read that as being like a complete jag. So I was just like, honest question, really. So then he goes,
I'm trying to clarify because if you didn't have that, like it would have sounded kind of.
oh, absolutely. And I'm not new to this game. I knew what it would have came across. And then he's like,
That's your move right there.
it's CONCACAF. It just like he just like fell asleep on his keyboard. North American, Central American, and Caribbean Gold Cup every 2 years. And then he put like a Wikipedia snippet in there. In no part of this snippet does he say if it's professional or not. And so I wrote, so is it considered professional? Do people that aren't on pro teams play in it? Again, I'm not being sarcastic. I just want to know. And he wrote back, all of the national teams and players that play in the World Cup. This is our regional cup. And so I wrote back, so yes. And then finally he just said, I don't know why, dude. That just bothered the hell out of me. I just wanted a yes or a no. I honestly do not know. I don't follow soccer. I'm not like trying to. I'll watch the World Cup every once in a while because I'll probably be gambling on it and whatever. But I just wanted a yes or no answer. I don't get why that was so hard. That I don't know. Sorry for
just trying to
derailing
teach you the
everything.
games.
It's just like completely. It was like a bang your head off the wall moment. If he would have not have said yes on that last tweet, I was gonna tweet out like, please just fucking say yes or no. Like please, oh god, it was like talking to my kid. Like just say what you want. His new thing is he says please, which is good, you know. But now he'll just walk up to you and just go, please, please what, dude? Please what? You gotta go, please, you gotta go on the potty, please, you want a Snickers, please, please, please. And you're like, what the fuck do you want, dude? Anyways, sorry.
He's hearing you though when the Sox have the bases loaded and you're just yelling at your TV. Please
Jesus,
score.
please, someone get a hit. The All-Star game in itself kind of sucked.
Yeah, the American League lost.
First of
Yeah,
all,
I thought about Justin Steele was fantastic. NL, bringing it back to the NL.
First of all, bring back the players wearing their own team jerseys.
Oh, totally.
Yes. Those dude, the jerseys suck. I know
They're
you're
so bad.
Jersey guys though. Those
Yeah, I am. Those were terrible. The hat was
trash.
like I bought the hat.
Like the pants. I think the jersey in itself looked cool because I remember Dougie posted a photo of like the American League jersey. It was like, oh, like that looks pretty cool.
And it costs $500.
And it was like $500. And then like you see it with the pants and everything is like, that's kind of underwhelming.
It was just,
they were way too similar.
Terrible uniform. And you look back at old pictures of All-Star games where the guys are all in their, their team home or away jerseys, and you're like, that's dope to me because like that's more too of you representing your team. Yeah. Like if someone never really watched baseball and they turned it on, I guarantee they're like, I don't know.
You have to like squint and look at the pants. Like some random reliever came in the game, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And I'm like, looking at his pants. Like, oh, he's from the Tigers. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about nostalgia with the home run derby. Nostalgia with that it was better back when they would just wear the uniforms because it does go with what you just said, Mitch. You at least know right away. It's like, okay, this guy, okay, his name is this. He plays for this team.
Yeah,
cool.
I've never watched that guy play. This is cool.
Yeah,
they
just have like the logo on the sleeve. It's like, oh, what? If you miss it, you have no idea who this guy even plays for.
ESPN had a tweet, and they couldn't even tell them apart. They were like, "Oh, Luis Ariz like tagged I forget who it was, and it like was not a Luis Ariz at second base. Like they like completely butchered it."
And I get it's money, whatever, Nike trying to sell jerseys.
That's what
but
I mean. That's what it is.
But I guarantee you, there would be more fans willing to buy the jersey if it was just the regular your team's jersey with the guy with the patch. Yeah.
Well, the thing they get concerned about is then you wait a week and go on eBay, you can buy just the patch. So you know what I mean? Like they don't make as much money. And I'm just saying, but I totally think they need to go.
During the home run derby, you have the specialty ones for that.
I did not hear that. Yump! Oh my goodness! Did that really have an ESPN called Vlad Jr. Cuban?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, on the graphic.
Like second
oh my God.
player to win or whatever. It was like
it's one thing if I can't pronounce a name. Fine, this isn't my like top job, but you have one job, dude. You're ESPN. I mean, I know they just laid everybody off, so it was probably like the janitor or something running that, but like
no, I think it was literally
just like but like there's like 2 countries there that you could be like, okay, like understand, but like that was
I think it was literally they thought Randy Arozarena was gonna win. They had his stuff typed out. Oh wait, Vladdy won. All right, we gotta delete Randy's name. But then they forgot to edit out.
But Randy's not even Cuban. Randy's Mexican.
But he was born in Cuba. They would have spun it that way.
Bro, I'm a big Randy fan this year. I never have been, but now I am a big. Sorry, Mitch.
Oh, as soon as he walked out with the cowboy boots, I thought it was over. I thought it was over.
Yeah, big Randy guy.
It's not that hard to make a graphic, like television secret, like making this graphics super easy. Especially,
well, apparently it is, Mitch. Apparently it is.
Is it,
like,
Mitch?
All you
is
have
it?
To do is click the thing and retype it. It's not like it would have taken them that long to like fix the correct graphic.
Is it harder or easier than looking up a player to find out where he's really from?
It's about the same, especially like on a like TV one like that. Usually they have these graphics like pre-made, and you just have to like type in like what you want like on it. But like usually like the lower third graphic, there's already like they have a predetermined like generic one. You just type in the info. So
I'm pretty sure we could do lower thirds on ours.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was kind of I can't believe that happened. I did not see that happen. Some of the other comments though, I do like it when they mic'd up the players. That's the only time I unmute it. Like I like the whole Mookie and Freddie Freeman going back and forth, and like Freddie Freeman tried to say a joke that did not land at all. Like when Randy Arozarena got on first base, he's like, "You can't." That's funny. You can't take away hits and get hits. You have to pick one. And Randy just kind of looked at him like, "What?" And like he didn't know he was like mic'd up. He thought it was just. He's like, "Okay." Good joke, Freddie Freeman. But yeah,
I did like most of the guys who were mic'd up.
Yeah,
it does. Some guys are awkward, but I think.
But the awkward guys could be funny sometimes, and I like it. It's always funny though when they're like talking like, "Yeah, you know, he's a great." Oh shit! And you just hear.
The pitchers, the pitcher, I thought that was very cool because like you'd normally see the position players.
When Evaldi was on, the announcer's like, and I think he's probably going to go with a cutter here, and you just hear him go, "Yeah," and then he goes into his windup. I was like, "Oh shit, okay, that's cool."
It was better when Liam was on and he didn't know he was like the mic was working because then you get the version. That's the way to go.
But the other reason why this All-Star game really just didn't like bang for me is because Missy, the best part of the All-Star game is when Elias Diaz hit the home run to win the game and everyone's simultaneously going, "Who is that?"
Mostly because he didn't know what team he played for.
Well, yeah, I mean that could eliminate suspects. Again, as a MLB The Show player, after the All-Star game, whoever's the MVP automatically gets a 99 card, which is like the best you can be in the game. And so everyone's like, "Sick, we're getting a 99 Elias Diaz card." Awesome. I didn't even know he was a catcher until I saw the card on the game. Good for him.
It's tough because, I mean, out of all the sports, MLB does have the most competitive All-Star game because, like,
without a doubt,
you can't really fake it.
NASCAR.
But at the same time, I did like when it. Meant something. I don't know if
this time it means something.
Well, like I didn't mind it when it determined home field.
It wasn't terrible.
I didn't either, but I can see why teams had a complaint. I only like it because like it meant something. But like when you really think about it, baseball is the one sport you can't tank without looking like an ass. Like
Right.
in hockey or
Yeah.
basketball, you can tank because everyone's tanking. But
You
like,
can
what do you
dog
do?
it, yeah.
Swing and miss at a fastball? Like you can't. Like so that's why it's like
Yeah.
okay, like the game is still watchable despite the fact there's nothing on the line.
Yep.
I'm fine with it not screwing over a team that has a much better record than the other team just because they lost.
Right. And I mean, if you're, let's say you're the Rays and you're clearly going to probably make the playoffs and have a good team to make a run, and you have one representative or two representatives at the game. And then that game, though, dictates your advantage in the playoffs, and you only had one dude out there. Like, I get why that would be annoying.
The manager's like, hey, we have a
Yeah.
good team. Like they're working the pitcher from like some scrub team. Like, hey,
Yep.
can you give me another inning out there? And he's like,
Well, I was gonna say,
Oh, no management.
did we find out? Does Craig Kimbrell have like a gigantic bonus if he gets a save in the All-Star game? Because
Yeah.
his manager, I think that was the most pitches he's thrown this
No.
year.
Craig was working something out. The one thing that I would like to see is, well, one, they wear their team's jerseys, and two, since the game doesn't mean anything anymore, take away the whole AL versus NL. Go basketball style. Make it a draft.
Ooh.
I would love to see that.
Mm.
Absolutely love to see it, because you'll see guys that will never play with each other again play on the same team. I would love it.
You can already see that though. There's a lot of these guys that would never play with each other in the same league. That's taking the last. No, I don't. There's some parts of baseball tradition you got to keep around. I think that's what.
Nope. I mean, Mitch, you are the oldest guy on the show. You know that by like 20 years.
I'll take your word for it.
I was gonna say I'm in the middle of it. If it happens, sure, why not?
Anytime I propose anything like new, you're, no, get off my lawn.
That used to be my nickname in college, Old Man Mitch.
I-
I'm very like get off my lawn.
So are you giving everybody a show right there?
A little bit. Hope everybody liked the crotch shot. I was going for the Pepsi behind the computer screen.
That's why everyone has to tune in to YouTube Live every
Yep.
Wednesday night.
All natural, baby.
I'm not anti-change though. Like the new rule changes, I was like, okay, that's gonna make it better. I don't see that making the game any better just by having like a popularity contest. And then there's gonna be some guys that like, but you see this a lot in the NBA All-Star game too. They'll have to draft a guy either because like they're on their team or like their buddy, and like one team gets stacked, and then the game's unwatchable.
I want them to bring back the what was it called? That last player fan vote.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. The
Bring that
AJ
back.
Przinsky campaign the one year.
Yeah, I think Sox players went out a few times.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
Mix
had
it
a
up
big
a little bit.
campaign the one year I think he made it in 2008.
Yep. No, it was the reason the AJ campaign was the year that he punched Michael Barrett. So that was punch AJ.
Punch,
Yep.
Yeah. But I don't know. Just to mix it up a little bit. I get the whole every team has to have one all-star. I'm not
B-Flow
cra-
finally
not-
gets to
Not crazy
brag about
that,
Michael
but
Lorenzen being an all-star.
yeah.
Well,
I'm not-
that's why the jersey, like that's why you need to have the team jersey thing, because the whole
That
point
too,
of having
yep.
every team have their own all-stars. So like that city has like a guy like, hey, like that's our guy. So then
Yep.
why isn't he wearing his jersey? Like you're gonna
Yep.
do that, and you got to have the jerseys.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. I don't know. That's definitely one of those things where if that went away, I wouldn't be mad.
Who would you like to see play together? Like who like struck out? Like, oh yeah, I would like to see these two guys that would never play together be on the same team.
I don't know, like just I'm trying to think of a shortstop second base combo, like a cool middle infield, like TA last year and Jazz this year. But you know what I'm saying? But like something that'd be fun like that, like two
Yeah,
guys
that'd
that
be
I
That's-
honestly think, or because I was thinking, like, if the World Baseball Classic was on more often, because we saw
That's
it this past
kinda
year.
where I
What's
was
the
going with
matchup
this,
that we
yeah.
all wanted to see, and we got
Ohtani
it? Was
versus
Ohtani
Trout.
versus Trout.
yes.
So that you can't do that
So
when
you
they're on
could
the
see
same
that
team.
shit if you did a
yeah.
draft.
But there's no guarantee you'd see that shit because there'd be
That's
guys
true.
who might be on rest, or well, it's not the day of the rotation, or they get hurt in the home run derby. Doing
By the
see,
way,
I hate this shit, dude.
saw
people
someone
complaining about
Biggie not even
Megan.
getting.
Dude, I don't care if he's leaving, man. I mean, I get that, but you got to give.
Yeah, I don't.
Ooh, this
he's
is
not
like,
a guy that needs to do like a
Can USA even field the team? If they did USA versus the world?
No, they
Then-
could. It's
Just
just
for the prospect game.
I mean, you would be getting some guys for Team USA that should not be all-stars on that team.
no. I mean, you saw it in the World Baseball Classic. They could, they
They
could
could
definitely
do
field a
it.
team.
All right, Trey Turner's not an all-star. Tim Anderson's not an all-star. I'm just trying to think of guys that were on the U.S. WBC team.
Dansby Swanson hurt.
Yep.
He-
I mean,
Jazz Chisholm. There you go. Oh, he's hurt. I think.
yeah. No, he's back. Or is
He's
he
back.
out
Okay, there
again?
you go. Jazz
I don't
back
know.
at second.
I like the sentiment there, Baloney, but I don't know if that would the world team would be fucking stacked.
By the way, another thing I would like to add, or would like to see be would give me some sort of skills competition, other than the home run derby. I'd be fine with it.
I was thinking about that.
Have you ever seen the
I was
bunt
gonna think of what you
competition?
could add. Like you can't do like fastest pitch because some guy would blow their arm.
Get all the Kevins in the world excited with the bunt targets. Like, sure.
Can they
why
do
not?
something like that Tom's Proborsky or Samorsky, whatever, instructional video that we all watched when we were kids, where like they put the outfielders out there and it's like who can make it into the garbage can behind home plate, best of 5 throws.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
That could be good. I would
I'd
be
watch
down
that.
with the skills competition. I think now we're cooking with gas.
Do those
Yeah,
MLB
okay.
The Show hitting drills? You need to hit it to right field
Yep.
5 times. in a
Yeah,
row?
like the shaded areas. Like yeah.
That's why they banned the shift. No one knows how to hit that.
Yeah. What's up, Bob?
Terrible.
Wait, like
Um,
it's like the pitching machines are like it's set at 110 miles per hour, something ridiculous.
I'd be in on that.
That could be good.
Someone would probably get hurt, but I'd be in on that.
There's this
Well,
guy.
take the kids off the field. Take the kids off the field.
Did you
We
see
don't
that
need
kid get
working.
nailed?
Yeah,
That was.
The kid got annihilated, dude.
like I'm
I was
surprised it
thinking about
doesn't
that,
happen
like,
more
early
often.
in the afternoon. It's like, why do they trust it? Because like you would look at the exit velocity, especially watching the StatCast one. It's like, boy, they are smoking some of these baseballs. Like,
How does that not happen more often?
cool. And like,
Yeah,
sure enough,
yeah.
later, like the show, some guy gets drilled in the outfield.
Because like you see it around, like there are even younger kids who are just like roaming around. I'm like, why are they out there?
Yeah,
I mean, that kid got
too many
hit.
of them out there
Hold
too.
on, I'm
because
pulling
they
up the
get you-
video right now.
Oh, yeah.
That kid got fucking smoked, dude.
That
I
being
like when they, like,
said,
they cut like he's getting carried off the field, and then they cut back, and like the guys, Pete Alonso's like dancing at home.
Hold on, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Share screen. There we go. All right. If I make it full screen, can you guys still see it?
yes.
All right. Bam!
Oh jeez! Oh gee! I didn't see the aftermath. Pause it. Oh,
Damn.
Bam! I mean, come on, dude.
that dude,
That's
that dude is like
brutal, dude.
Brandon Moreno after Saturday night.
That
Jeez.
is
That's
that's brutal, dude. I'm saying I was watching our boys the Chicago Sports Bum show when that happened, and I put in the comments right away. I was like, get a group of like 30, 40 adults, let them have an open bar for like an hour, and then throw out a bunch of buzzed up adults.
One of
That
them,
would-
like, they'll not
Yeah,
only get
Yeah, but
hit,
they're adults. With a
Oh,
kid, you're like, oh, you feel
Perfect
bad. If
idea.
it's some
You know what?
hammered asshole, I'm gonna be like,
You know what?
yeah, I guess-
I got it. Keep the kids. It's fine. You want to keep it fun. Put them in those giant bubble things, and like give them a helmets or something. I don't know.
oh, I would put money on those kids are wearing helmets next year with like face
Right?
guards.
Like, and that's the thing. It's happened before. Like, I'm
It has
surprised
to.
there
I feel
hasn't been
the
like
softball pitcher
bigger
mask,
stories.
like, maybe not like a full blown helmet, like the
Yeah,
soft. Yeah,
some kind of cage. Yeah, and I mean, obviously that kid probably had to sign like 50 waivers before they let him out on the field, saying like,
Right,
you're
yeah.
not going to sue us when Vladdy drills you in the eye with a 107-mile-an-hour fucking.
Rob
fastball.
Rob Manfred's just be like, Manfred would be like, I mean, you had your glove, kid.
Yeah,
You missed it.
your glove touched it, kid. I mean, you ain't got this. You ain't got the sauce. But I felt so bad for that kid. Again, kid, you feel bad for. Drunk adult, that's funny as shit.
I mean,
I
adult.
did laugh
adult.
though when he was getting.
I laughed too.
carried off the field,
I
man.
laughed. I
They
laughed
cut
too.
back.
Especially
Pete
when, yeah.
Alonso's doing some.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
lot
I-
funnier when you don't see the aftermath picture.
Yeah,
Because,
he knows
because
it's bad, but
That kid was jacked up, man. I mean, he's got a story for.
story for life. Story for
Yeah.
life.
Well, this is a fair point from Bologna. How do we know the kid wasn't drunk?
That's true.
Dude, him seemed pretty big. Took it like a champ too. Usually when you're drunk and you get hit like that, you do just kind of like shake it off. But
I see a lot of Pete Alonso hate. I did see though on Twitter that he signed every one of his like the baseballs that was thrown to him.
Thought
So,
that
like,
was a class move.
that was cool. Yeah,
Class move.
he gets a lot more hate than you would think.
I
Class
He's a
do.
move.
big
Okay.
Paul Konerko fan too. They interviewed him when he came to Chicago a couple years ago. He loves Paul Konerko.
So Zoe, we're pretty online.
Yep.
I don't know how it started. I think it's hilarious, but I'm with you, Mitch. I don't really get the Pete Alonso hate. Well, I kind of do. He's try hard for the home run derby that last year when he was like,
Isn't that what
Praying.
you want though?
Yes.
I want
but
the
like,
guy to want to win the competition.
like,
Yeah.
so I agree with you. Where I don't think it's that big of a deal, but for whatever reason, Pete Alonso is hated. But I just don't know how or why that started.
I
I know he
think
did
this is- here's your answer.
9/11, but
I like regular season Pete, but did
It
you
was
see
funny
Pete Alonso
watching
did 9/11?
Lifting before.
well, that's the big thing. A few years ago, I think it was when the Mets were playing the Padres or whatever, and you know how
What the
crazy
fuck?
fucking
Yeah.
Padres Twitter is. They photoshopped him, like taking like with the towers on
Oh
fire.
my god, I did see this. I do remember that.
And like he responded to it, and because he responded to it, it's been just a running joke for the
Oh,
past 2 or 3
no.
years.
I
Like
totally
that's where
remember
that
that.
started, but I don't know why that's like.
I
I think it was just
totally
random
remember that.
Padres Twitter.
I totally remember that now. He also has a shit nickname, the Polar Bear Sox.
Polar bear. See, I think I kind of like the nickname.
I don't like the nickname. Not at all. But
I could see it though. Like
I
his build,
I'm-
like I could see Polar Bear from. I get Polar Bear. Vibes.
I'm well, I'll tell you right now, if somehow he ended up on the White Sox, I'd be like, Polar Bear fucking kicks ass. What a badass nickname. Like that's a given. But
Oh, Pete Alonso would be the perfect White Sox player because half the fans would love him, half the fans would hate him because he'd hit 40 home runs a year.
oh
but
yeah,
he'd
he'll
hit
hit nukes.
210.
He would be
Yeah.
a better version of Andrew Vaughn and just
Yep.
polarizing. You'd still get these people on Twitter. He's not very good.
Mhm.
Not doing his job. Home runs are overrated anyway, and RBIs.
That's some wild shit. Where we at on the show? Hour 40. Let's talk about the second half. Let's just say my hopes aren't at an all-time high when it comes to the second half. I think a lot of it.
Trades. How many
I
more
think
trades?
I think a lot of it depends on what the White Sox do at the trade deadline. And now I feel like I'm repeating myself from last year, and then Rick Hahn's just going to go out and get Diekman and call it a day.
They already got their Diekman, but a worse version of Diekman.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Guys, though, I'm sure.
Mike Mayers is pretty much
They got-
in line.
Yeah, they got worse Diekman.
But he's one of Pedro's guys.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! You know how that works out.
Dude, that's right. Well, no, this is his first year in Kansas City.
Oh god.
Damn. Well, why is he called up from AAA? I'll be honest, I'd never heard of the guy before.
Yep.
Mike Mayer. I only remember him. I don't know, some random game I watched from the Angels. That's the only reason I remember him from the Angels.
I could not think of that guy
And he
until
used
about
to be good, and then he sucked this year. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's been really bad this year.
Cheekman.
Guys, I think he might be your fifth starter. I saw he's been pitching like he's not just a
That's
one-inning
Tukey.
reliever.
That's
He
too-
might be starting some games for you.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I do like Tukey. I think
Tukey's
that
showing me
Tukey's
something,
been
man.
fantastic. I didn't
Tukey's
realize how good he's been.
Tukey's been showing me something, man.
he has a
Tukey-
fun name to say. He got stuck in traffic his first night with the White Sox. I mean, what's not to like? Relatable. I like Tukey.
Fids would not be happy if that happened.
Oh,
Healy says they'll get a Mir Garrett. I mean,
also another former Royal.
Yep.
That
White Sox.
Tukey story is like actually insane though. He gets cut. The Sox, like, he's just sitting in Miami. The Sox call him on his birthday, like, hey, you're signed. He has to get a flight. His flight gets canceled, so he has to take the next flight. And because it got delayed, he gets stuck in rush hour traffic, barely makes it to the game on time. Like, Zoe was saying that he was, like, walking past the White Sox clubhouse a couple times, too. Like, It's a wild start. And then, like, he's on the mound, like, a couple hours later after, like, strolling up
Tukey-
to the ballpark, like some guy from the 108 in the tailgate section. Like, he was around the time. He arrived.
And Tukey's two spot starts there. What is he going 5-6 deep each time?
Yeah. I mean, he used to be a starter with Atlanta, but like this stuff,
He was guys. And I think Ian says it in the comments. He was a hot shit prospect coming up.
I think his first appearance. Yeah, his first appearance was in longer relief in that one of the blowouts. I think against the Angels, maybe. And he had like 4 innings, gave up like 1 hit.
he didn't give up
something?
any hits. I don't.
Or
believe.
no, yeah, no hits.
Too. Yeah, it was no because he set a record. It was like the second Sox pitcher that threw 4+ no-hit innings in his White Sox debut.
Yeah, I don't mind Tukey. Tukey seems to be the answer of who's going to be the fifth starter.
So how many? So
Well,
I think Clevenger's coming back.
Can we trade him?
I think. Well, I was going to ask you guys.
He was in a package. There's some
Over under White Sox trades at the deadline or by the deadline, 4.5 players. Players, not trades. Players.
Ooh.
I'm gonna take the over.
So I'm thinking Giolito, Lynn, Grandal.
I think it'll be 3. Rick doesn't. I don't trust Rick to.
That's a lot of work for Rick to do.
Yeah.
Clevenger.
He's gonna have to like make 4 phone calls.
And like one of the Joe Kelly for nothing.
What is it? 4.5.
4.5.
Maybe 4. Yeah, I'm taking the under.
I'm gonna stay at the over.
I'll go 4 exactly. Yeah.
Just to mainly do the opposite of Mitch.
Fair enough.
But no, I could see it though. I could see them doing like a Giolito, Lynn, Clevenger. I don't know if anyone's gonna.
I don't think the market for Clevenger is going to be that big. They would have to package him.
Pitching is one, and Clevenger's been good when he's not been hurt. Clevenger has been a very
pitching is always the outlier.
It's like if you look at it though, it's a lot of fool's gold. There's a lot of base runners, a lot of high stress innings, and he only goes like 5 innings to start. If you really want all the starts.
Keenan Middleton. Middleton's a free agent.
I was going to say, do you think they sell high on Middleton and Santos?
Yes, they should sell high on Middleton. That's another one that's fool's gold. He gives up way too many base runners.
You hit your over there.
Oh damn. Well, no, I don't think they're going to trade Clint. Well, okay, so. I think 4 exactly. So Middleton, I think you sell high. They should sell high on. We don't know if Rick has the capacity to do that. I think
you have to sell high on one of those relievers, if not both of them.
Yeah, Giolito, Lynn, Kelly, Middleton.
Has Gavin Sheets been good lately or no? Is there a trade market for him?
There's always a trade market for a powerful left-handed bat.
We keep saying that. We haven't seen it yet though.
There's always a trade market for a power lefty.
Jake Burrier? Trade value down?
Sell high. That's as high as it's going to get.
Hold. Stone hands.
It's a business.
Stone hands. Oh, I wrote about it briefly the other day when I was writing about the trade rumors for the Sox, where you guys are also stuck in a situation where you have a GM that you don't trust at all. And you don't know if he's still, or you don't have a confidence that he's going to get fired, even though he should. So, like, do you trust Rick Hahn's going to make the right moves in the offseason?
Nope.
You already know the answer to that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no matter what, because like the conversation that everybody was like, why the hell are the Sox? Why is there a thought that the Sox have 4 untouchables? And like, really, I think Luis Robert. I know the Sox have sucked, but like I think Luis Robert should be your one untouchable. Everybody else, though, I do agree. If you can find the right deal, trade them. But at the same time, do you trust Rick Hahn making those deals?
No, I don't trust
another rebuild.
I don't. I mean, if it was up to me, if it was up to me, Rick wouldn't be around to be making these calls, especially in the offseason. I know they're not going to fire him mid-season, but
what do you think the chances are right now that he gets fired in the offseason after the season?
Because didn't I say it on this exact show last year that trade deadline was like Rick's career?
Yeah.
And he went out and got Cheekman. So like, if that was his career, this is like his last breath. Like unless he pulls some immaculate trade out of his ass.
He's on the back 9 and he is like,
yeah, I think it's
done.
Over
par.
I think it's done. I mean, there's just, I know he's good at the one thing that you need to be good at, and that's making Reinsdorf money. He's good at that. And I think that's what's gotten him to this point.
Lawyer talk, too.
Yeah, I think that's what's gotten him to this point.
He would make a hell of a police officer in the Mexico Police Department. Let me tell you, the way he can lawyer talk around a question, phenomenal.
But I mean, I don't trust him at all. I mean, if any ounce of trust he had for me went out the window at last year's trade deadline.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about it even before. His other big trades when they've been trying to win have been bad.
The Ohtani trade.
He did try for Otani, so we have to give him credit for that.
There you go.
What are you talking about in the comments there, Paul? Roberts played almost every game this year.
Yeah.
He's been the one healthy guy.
He's been the guy who saved the healthiness out of that. Yeah. Finally, his Robert's healthy.
I mean, there's like 4 other guys you could have went with that comment, dude. You picked the wrong one. I mean, Ham would really have to pull just a massive trade.
Like that's the thing, though. Okay, I mean, I know that I think we talked about it like a month ago, like where we said the Sox should be buyers, but like they just haven't turned the corner. They've still just sucked.
They're just stuck there.
They're just stuck. They're just bad. Once they sell Giolito, like you guys are going to be, you're going to be bad the rest of the
Now,
year.
you would think that, but like I think it'll be about the same because the reason we were losing was because of the offense.
The offense, that's true.
If Han does this right, I mean, there is still talent to make a run at that AL Central in the second half.
Like that's the other thing. The trades, like you have to get an MLB piece back. But I think Kevin brought it up yesterday. Like, what team is going to trade you an MLB piece that's trying to win?
Yeah, well,
We got that mayor guy. All the pieces are in place now.
Or you trade one of your MLB guys to free up a spot, and a kid comes up and lightning in a bottle type situation. But
Fuck you back, Billy.
yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, Oscar Colas could get hot.
And maybe. I can wake up tomorrow with $50,000 in my bank account out of nowhere. I mean,
Luis Roberts good.
Happen.
When is Frazier gonna hit his White Sox? Can he at least hit one home run?
Dude, he's back in AAA. He's back in Charlotte, bro.
I know it's annoying. We got to call him back up.
No, you might as well just pay that ticket, dude. It's probably got interest and shit on it now.
I already did pay it. It was sad. I held out as long as I could. I waited actually, I still have a little bit of time. I already paid it though.
All right, well then maybe we got to pick a different player and try to get you some AC money.
Mexico, Mitch.
We got to pick another player with long odds to get you some AC money.
It's funny, speaking of Mexico, that was only like the 3rd time I've ever been recognized in public. And the other one was from an inmate that was like, he's like, yo, like I used to be locked up. Like they've had you on the news. Like
this is what I'm trying to say. What Ian's saying here. If you trade those guys and bring up some people with vim and vinegar, maybe they do go on a run. And it could happen. I mean, the guy you're building around, Luis Roberts, he's still a kid too.
Could it happen, guys? We've been talking about how shitty the White Sox farm system.
That's true, but I don't know.
You never know.
This pro team that was supposed to compete, the best they've ever done was losing the first round of Oakland.
Like, I don't think Lenine Sosa is walking through those doors to save the season, boys.
Nah, that's probably not going to happen.
Like, Rami came up last year with some piss and vinegar, and everyone liked him. But in reality, he just kind of sucked.
He sucked, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. He had all the piss and vinegar. It was bad.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's going to suck watching Elvis start every day after they make some trade. Oh, God. This could definitely go the other way very quickly.
I did like Remillard, but he bunts way too much. And this has been a thing that's been going on for a while. Like Herb brought it up. How I was like, why is this guy always bunting? I looked in college, in the College World Series, like at that point, he was leading his team in home runs. And one of the biggest moments of the season, he laid down a sack bunt.
Hell yeah.
He was like 8 for 8 on the year, despite being a power hitter. He just loves bunting.
He's a Rudy, dude. He is very much a Rudy. Which is wild. He is a Rudy. You guys got any big thoughts on the draft? Or should we wait for Fitz?
Fox did, I think. It's hard to comment on like a lot of like college and high school guys. Like you look at the numbers, like okay, like he seems good, but I'm not going to be like this guy's a bust already if he's just coming out.
Oh no, comment. I do like everything I've read about Jacob Gonzalez, the shortstop out of Ole Miss that the White Sox took with the 15th overall. I mean,
does he go by Jacob or Jake?
You know what though? With that,
everything I've seen has him listed as Jacob.
Yeah.
Bust. I'm sorry. That's the only draft analysis I do is what I feel about names. He goes by Jacob. Bust.
Yeah, I love what they were saying about Nick Madrigal when we drafted him too.
Yeah. So
like,
wait. Who is Japanese Madrigal? What am I missing here?
Oh, the one guy. I do remember the Sox drafted him, I think. Damn it. What's his name?
That's the one thing I will say while you look that up. Like they did get a lot more on base guys. Like Gonzalez he doesn't strike out much and he walks a lot. He walked more than he struck out in his college career. So I do think that's a step in the right direction. We're getting guys that have a good plate approach. at the
Who
lower
the
level.
fuck is a Japanese Madrigal?
Wait, maybe it's not who I thought. Damn it. I thought I did see an Asian-looking
I'm
dude with the
seeing
socks
some people
strapped.
like this George Wolkow kid. He's 16
Was
years
that
old,
him?
but
No.
Eddie Park. He's 6'1" though. That's way too tall to be calling him Madrigal.
Well, whoever said that in the comments, who are you talking about?
Yeah, Ian, who are you talking about?
Oh, is that who he's talking about? Oh, this guy.
Riku
Riku Ishida.
Nishida. I'll take your word for it. The only thing that I thought was funny was all these. I've seen a lot of people on White Sox Twitter when the White Sox took that kid, the pitcher from LSU, and he missed this season, LSU's championship season, because he was recovering from Tommy John.
I did see that.
And right away, everyone they're just like, "Oh, leave it to the White Sox to draft another injured player." Bro, everyone has Tommy John now. I'm almost glad
I'm glad he got it out of the way.
he got it out of the way. Grant Taylor, right-handed pitcher out of LSU. He's a sophomore, 6'3", 230-pound righty. Yeah, I mean,
Shout out to the podcast Cubs on Deck, the guys from Northside Bound. We've had Greg on before on the show, Greg Huss. But they were talking about how the Rays, for many years, the one way they've taken advantage of the draft is selecting injured pitchers, just because there's a perceived notions like, oh, injury risk, and actually they're overvaluing the talent, or they're valuing the talent more than the injury history, basically.
I'll say if there's a
success.
team you're gonna adopt their strategy,
like the Cubs,
yeah.
the Cubs did that last year with Cade Horton, their first round pick. Everybody's like, "What the hell? Why are you drafting this dude?" He missed the previous season with Tommy John. He barely pitched in 2022. He looked great in the College World Series, but I think he pitched like 50 innings total in college, and everybody was freaking out. Why the hell are they taking this guy in the first round? And now he's a top 100 prospect, looking great. And they did that again. The Cubs did that again with a few guys this year, where injured guys haven't pitched much.
I think this is the clip
for your guy, Riku.
This is good Lord, holy shit, Ian, you were not kidding. Hold on.
Well, I'm gonna say that guy. He's gonna be a beast because we have no idea how to say his name.
The Nick Madrigal comp dude.
Yeah, we're just gonna call it Japanese Madrigal.
Yeah. Hopefully his career path is a little bit better, but
hey, Nicky Barrett. Oh, he's hurt now.
Hold on, it takes a while because we're doing this, but I want to show you. I want to show you this kid's two-seam fastball that Ian's talking about. Good. All I'm going to say is good luck. Hold on, I got to get to the 1 minute mark here. Here. I don't know. Twitter's being stupid. And he throws 98.
Ooh.
Okay. That's, we all know the White Sox like the guys that can throw hard.
By the way, I can tell why they call this guy Japanese Magical, if that is just Ian's or anybody else's. Elite bat to ball skills. That's Nick Magical.
Heard that before.
Base running grade.
See, the difference is, though, he was drafted in the 11th round, not the 4th overall or 3rd over, whatever.
All right, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, watch this two-seam fastball. It's not this first pitch, but it's the pitch after that. Or just freeze. Freezing works too.
No.
Come on, Elon.
Refresh.
God damn it, Elon. Is it gonna take me back to that tweet? Yeah, here we go. Because I know it's not a right-handed batter, it's a left-handed batter, and this thing just runs away from him. All right, I'll come back, but yeah. I'll retweet it, but I'll just say that. Oh, Ian says it has like 24 inches of lateral movement.
Decent.
I mean, this pitch though, it's a two-seam. It's just going, and it takes a fucking right turn.
Cubs drafted a dude in the last round of the 20th round from Stanford. His last name is Bowser, Drew Bowser. Love that name. Used to be high school teammates with Pete Crow Armstrong.
That could be some pretty good memes in itself right there.
Matt
I mean-
Shaw. Matt Shaw reminds me of whatever you want to keep. It's like a you would hope more power version of Ian Happ, I guess is what people are saying.
Interesting.
So I guess what the Cubs did is like I think it was Kevin was saying in the chat is like they took the proven high floor college hitter. So cool. Like this is a guy you expect to be in the major leagues one day, which is nice. Yes.
I would imagine that's what you were going for.
I mean, yeah. You would hope, like, because the thing, like, again, just like Mitch said, I have no idea. Like,
Yeah, nobody does.
no idea.
One of the best tweets I saw on draft night. All these people were talking about those 2 LSU dudes that went 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and someone's like, "Well, yeah, it's just like when Mike Trout was picked first overall in his draft class. He wasn't. He was like 24th. Like the MLB draft, out of all the major pro sports, is the biggest fucking crapshoot out of all of them.
I think my favorite tweet from the Cubs, from Matt Shaw, their first round pick, was Greg Huss. He tweeted out, "My comp for Matt Shaw is a combination of Mike Trout and Barry Bonds."
Yeah, well,
like,
that's funny because that's the other thing that, and
That is ridiculous.
I've said it a bunch of times on this show too. They need to
player
stop doing
comps.
the comps
Yeah.
on draft night.
Or just make them realistic. My comp is Ross Detweiler.
Yeah, this guy's comp is a little bit of Mickey Mantle with some Barry Bonds and sprinkled in. It's just, what are you talking about? No, but
The Cubs also drafted a guy. His name is Alphonsine. I mean, star. Love it. He's going to be an all-star.
so next week, ladies and gents, when Fitz is back, if he can fit us into his social calendar, we will be doing swing breakdowns for each team's first pick. The kid the White Sox picked, it's like I can't describe it. That's why Fitz has to do it. It's a lefty swing, but like he starts with all his weight on the back, and it's like a weird like slide forward while he's
it's
swinging.
like it's a very wide stance.
Yeah,
Like,
it's super
all
wide.
back.
Like
It's like, ugh, yeah.
it's like a weird
Weird
slide
grip.
forward. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. Fitz will probably tell you why he does everything and vortexes and power V's and all this other shit. But
another name guy for the Cubs, I think 11th round pick out of high school, and he was committed to go to North Carolina, but I think the Cubs are going to sign him. Zaire Hope, great name, star.
great name. That's a great name.
Who's the local kid the Sox got that everyone was excited about?
I mean, the Sox did draft a guy.
Wolkow?
Some guy from Downers Grove, I believe.
I mean, let's hold on. We're talking names. Let's come full circle here. The White Sox did draft a guy named Calvin Harris. I mean, that's.
Didn't we mention him earlier though?
Yep.
Missy was all over that.
Yep.
George Wolkow, 7th round.
That's the guy that everybody's all pumped about.
Yeah.
But he was a South Carolina commit.
Ah.
Yeah. They got a guy named Eddie Park. That's pretty. Jake Peppers.
Oh, there we go. Now we're talking.
That's a good one.
Jake Peppers, and he's a pitcher.
Angels drafted a guy named, his last name was Ketchup.
Ketchup and
Like
butter.
it was spelled like ketchup, I think.
They need to trade him to the Sox right away.
Well, no, everybody would complain. We don't need no ketchup in Chicago.
So Ian's guy, Riku, I didn't know he's coming out of University of Oregon State for him and Magical comps. He's a little guy too. He's a lefty. Interesting. Mateus Lacombe.
So another cool name for the Cubs, shortstop. Yael Melendez. I think his dad was yelling at Kevin on Twitter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. I like that.
Big fan of that kid now.
Wait, why was he yelling at Kevin?
Because I think Kevin tweeted. Kevin tweeted like it wasn't even that like harsh. It was just like, what did he say? It's just like he didn't jump off the page at Kevin, and the dad was like, basically the dad was like, "You don't know ball." In so many words, is what he said.
That's got to be a rough experience as a parent on draft night because he was Googling his kid's name.
Yeah, that's
He told Fitz to suck a dick in Spanish.
yes. Oh, dude.
Yes.
I read it, and I'm like, that sounds so cool in Spanish.
What's this kid's name?
Wait,
What's
do we have the tweet? Someone pull up.
Yes,
this
let
tweet.
me-
Like, we gotta show this.
What's
guy.
the kid's name? Because he's skyrocketing up my prospect board.
Yael, his name is Yael Melendez.
And-
Yahil.
What round did they take him in?
He was taken in the 6th round pick. He's out of
those kids
or no, 7th round pick, high school guy. And I think they're signing him to almost double the slot value. So they really love him, I guess.
But you're leaving out the most important stat that his dad told Fitz to suck a dick in Spanish.
Let me see. Just go to K-Fid's replies.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Find this now.
Let's see. Kevin. Where is it? Oh no, it was fantastic though.
Oh wait, I have it.
Oh, here we go. I
I
just
got it. Yeah, our buddy Healy just sent it to me too.
Oh, I didn't see the follow-up. Okay. It kind of ended. All right, it ended nicely.
But hold on, let me share this.
I don't. Do you think Kevin hit the
How many
translate? Because I don't
days
think he
ago
would have
was this?
responded so nicely. If he...
No, but he did put an eggplant emoji in there. This is amazing.
Oh shit.
This guy is now skyrocketed on my draft board.
Yael Melendez, number 1
Here,
prospect for the Cubs.
So Fitz said
Okay.
doesn't jump out as an elite talent, not super fast, throws low 80s. Yael Melendez looks like a prospect that could end up at the hot corner in the future. Just can't see him sticking up the middle. In which his dad wrote back, "You're a dinosaur who only looks at stats on the PG page from 2 years ago. Yael is a talent in advance, so prepare your pocket to buy his Cubs shirt in the big show." And then you take it from there. What does he say?
He says "mamate un huevo," which is basically suck a dick in Spanish.
It's amazing. And then he put a
I
baseball
guess
emoji,
the direct translation would be "suck on a nut," basically, like suck on.
which is
on
even
a ball.
funnier.
Yeah.
And then he put a baseball emoji, an arm flexing emoji, and an eggplant emoji. And then it took Fitz a minute to go, "Oh wait, I just saw your last name. If you like, I get it." And then he talks about MLB dad should stay off of Twitter. And then they finished it ending nicely, but oh my god, that is funny as hell, dude. He told Fitz to suck a ball.
I think his dad basically made the point that we made is like who's to say what these teenage kids are going to
Right.
be?
One, he called Fitz a dinosaur, and then he told him to suck a dick. Oh my god, that just made my night. That is actually a perfect transition.
we should get Kevin a
Well, why is that a
Melendez
perfect
jersey.
transition?
Because you should
Oh,
suck a
Fitz
dick.
suck a dick to the NASCAR minute? That is
yeah.
not a perfect transition. Oh, they'll bring up another segment. That's a terrible transition.
Nope. It's time, ladies and gentlemen,
God
for the
damn.
NASCAR Minute with NASCAR Mitch.
All right, big news this week.
Did you
was-
switch your hat?
I did. Busch Light has a new sponsor. This Kevin Harvick, the number 4 car, who's been Busch Light guy forever, is retiring. Busch Light has to sponsor a new guy. Any guesses to who it is? Because I know you guys pay attention every week and know all these names. I'll give you each a guess.
It's not
Yeah.
me.
Jimmy Johnson.
He's retired.
Damn it.
Yes. He's all famer though now. He's got inducted recently.
Martin
BJ
Truex Jr.
BJ McLeod,
Why would they sponsor BJ McLeod?
because it sounds like someone who pushed.
No, it's a good driver.
Corey.
Corey's not a good driver.
I don't fucking know.
Kyle
dude.
Busch.
He is a good driver, but not Kyle Busch. It would
I mean,
make
Kyle Busch is a layup. I don't know, just who?
he
Because I
drives for Pitbull.
want to keep posting pictures.
All right, well, it's Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain, don't get fucked tour. He is the new Busch Light man. So he will be driving the Busch Light car. Now this week's race was in Atlanta. Let me tell you, after the Chicago race, I'm sure we got a lot of new fans after that one. So if you tuned in for Atlanta, you got quite the follow-up. Speedway racing. Problem was there was rain coming in. So these guys are racing the piss out of each other from the start because they knew they had to try and get to the front before the rain came. Because once the rain came, race is canceled. So late in the race, I mean, like I said, these guys are swapping back and forth. They're racing the piss out of each other. Near the front of the field, they had Eric Almirola. He starts dropping back. Michael McDowell, who needs a win basically to get in the playoffs. He's hanging on to a playoff spot in points, but isn't a very good car. He's there up front. Brad Keselowski sees the radar. The rain's coming. He makes a charge to the front, too. Then there's a big crash in the back. So now there's some decisions to make. Brad Keselowski, he hasn't won in a while. He just got up to the front, but he's nearly out of fuel. So they're like, do we pit here or do we try and stay out and run on fumes and hopefully the rain comes? They decide to pit. Michael McDowell's car, he decides to stay out. Big decision there. But Brad, with the fresh fuel, he starts working his way back up the sticks. But unfortunately for him, the rain comes out, and who's in the front? It's she's God, that photo distracts me.
Yes, we finally got him.
William Byron for Hendrick. Right behind him was Daniel Suarez, who I was rooting for. And it was unfortunate because he was in second. I thought he was going to make a move, and then the rain came out after a caution, and they didn't resume it. So Suarez finishes second. William Byron gets his 4th win of the year in first in Atlanta. But I'm telling you, it was actually a really good race because they only got through. They can only get through 2 stages of it. So the guys usually in a super speedway race, you kind of just file in line and just try not to wreck, and then they start racing hard near the end. But because they're hey, we don't know when the rain's coming, whoever's in first is going to win this thing. Just go. Everyone was racing the hell out of each other. It was quite fun to watch. So that is your NASCAR minute. I cannot believe that stupid frog footage.
Out of all the pictures we've done over the years, this is the picture that finally got Mitch. That is amazing. I gotta go back down to the videos. Here we go.
I started drinking at 6 a.m. and we're here now. I don't know what time it is, but I'm rolling deep. And those cars are going real fast and real left, son. They're going fast and left. Fuck yeah.
See, part of the issue is I would come prepared with notes of what happened so I could do an exciting breakdown of it. I hardly have any time to come prep. So I got to go off the top of my head, which makes it harder when you got the photos coming to try and remember things. So
Yep. Well, shout out to Missy Carroll for the frog smoking a cig in the front pocket pick.
I gotta ask though, you said, you finally held up. I think you held up your end of the bargain. We didn't do the playback.
I watched Chicago. I watched
you
Chicago.
That you watched the Chicago race. I'm curious of the Chicago street course.
I mean, if I want to watch dudes drive at 40 miles an hour around Chicago, I just walk around downtown.
Dude,
but how they were going, part of the allure to watch NASCAR is that they go fast. These guys were going 40.
That was a very hard course.
That's why it was annoying too.
They were over 100 on the straightaways.
Everybody's hitting the tire wall thing, and that got kind of annoying after a while because there was no flow to the race. It kept getting stopped because of the people were running. I get that it was tight.
That's fair.
I understand. I completely 100% understand that it was a tight course. I get that, but I don't know. It's just it seemed super choppy because of that. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, and I will hand up. I'm not an expert here, but on a normal oval track, I can't imagine there's that many stoppages.
There's a decent amount. There's probably a little bit more in a road course like that.
Yeah. It just seemed like every lap they're oh, now this guy's in the tires. He's got to back out of it. I'm I saw my uncle do that 2 weeks ago. It's just I don't know.
You know what?
I get it.
Fair.
I do feel bad that it rained that hard that day because I know that kind of sucked a lot of the fun out of it.
I think it did make the racing a little bit better just because the track was hard.
Dude, they talked about water tires versus regular for an hour on that one. I was just what? You just spent an hour making a point that took 5 minutes. And then I still think it's funny that Brad Dourey, the former NBA player, is one of the panel hosts.
Oh yeah, he's actually good. I love Brad Doherty because he's always super. Even if it's a bad race, he's like, man, this is amazing. They're going so fast out there. You gotta love the enthusiasm. Like I like Brad.
And then Bubba didn't do too well, right?
He's very bad on street, like on road courses.
And he said that, like, I think after the race, he's like, I didn't want to say it before the race because it was great getting all these people into the sport, but like, yeah, this is not my thing, dude. Which I respect that.
Brad
Yeah,
Doherty's
Brady is, yeah, he's an owner. I knew that.
one.
I guess I'd be excited too if I was making a fuck ton of money off this shit. But I don't know. It wasn't terrible. I think the fact that it was so much different speeds and it did get broken up, it wasn't that one constant buzzing noise. You know what I mean? When it's the oval track, it's like for 3 hours straight. I told you guys when I bartended in Florida, we used to have the NASCAR parties. That used to literally make me nauseous. Was listening to that same noise over, and they would have all the TVs turned up as loud as they can because they, I like to party, and it would legit make me not. I think that's one of the reasons why I just never really liked NASCAR because it would make me sick. I don't know. That's weird.
That's valid.
Yeah. But I watched it. I should have took more photos, evidence. And to be honest with you, the boy liked it a lot too. He was getting into it.
I saw the selfies. I believe I'm like, all right.
Yeah. The kid was getting into it because he watches the movie Cars every night, so he kept pointing at it and going, "Cars." I was like, "Yeah, that's real cars. That's real cars." And every time someone would,
NASCAR diehards were pissed because the Australian guy came over and kicked everyone's ass in his first NASCAR race.
I also think it's very Chicago
Real
that
life
somebody
television.
snuck onto the track the night before and got arrested driving the track.
There's a couple of guys, I think.
I also heard from a little cop friend birdie of mine that there was a lot of golf carts that went unaccounted for.
Yeah, that also would not surprise me.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, and somebody
that happened like even before while they were setting up, like a couple of construction.
And one of the drivers, they were unsuccessful, but there was a pretty valid attempt to break into someone's garage.
Jesus.
I mean, hey man, if I'm down and out, who's gonna have the best tools for me to go pawn? You know what I'm saying? Like,
those were not like garages either. Like they literally had like the haulers there and then like some tents.
Yeah, and I guarantee you
easy to try and get
guarantee you the crackhead that did this was not thinking about that, but he probably was just like, "Whoa, I can walk by a construction site and steal a fucking $400 bill." I did like, I saw coverage of like how Bubba was going out and doing like community programs, and then they had that one event where like they literally just had Bubba's car in the middle and people could like stand around, and they did like every hour on the hour his pit crew came out and just like showed everyone what a up looked like. I thought that was cool. I would have actually liked to see that. I don't know. It seemed cool. I mean, definitely, I think got its point across on reaching out to a different fan base to try to bring in newer fans to NASCAR.
Yeah.
I think
that's what I noticed too. Like the majority of the people there at that rate, like had never been to a race before.
I could imagine that.
Cool. I enjoyed that.
Props to you for staying there through that. I would have fucking left. So
but I will say though, like I think for usually a lot of these first time events, like no matter what sport, like Winter Classic, you saw this too. Like it loses its luster after a couple of years, but I think because of the rain, like dampen things, I think next year they'll almost have more anticipation.
Where are they going next year?
Huh?
Where is it at next year?
They signed a 3-year deal with Chicago. It's whether
okay. I thought it was gonna.
If Chicago can weasel their way out of it, but the mayor seemed happy, so they'll probably be back again next year.
Okay, I thought it was like one of those deals, like the Winter Classic, where they try to pick a different city every. I mean, downtown Chicago, that's a pretty good setup though, with the straightaway, and I thought it was part of the reason I watched was just out of just straight curiosity.
Yeah.
How the fuck are they going to do this? And then, I don't know, I just kept watching mainly because there was nothing on, but I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Oh, did you watch any of it all though?
I did not. I followed along. Well, I watched whatever clips were posted on Twitter.
Yeah. And I think that's fair too. If I ever were to like
street, when I would watch NASCAR back in the day, like right now, I'd be more prone to watching a regular race than the street course race.
Yeah.
So
Well, that was the
that
first time
kinda that's just not for me if I'm gonna
they
watch
added
an
like
NFL.
road courses like a while ago, and like
Or
all of a
road
sudden,
course,
NASCAR,
I
like,
mean.
loved the road courses, and they almost oversaturated the schedule with road courses.
Like I even remember the smaller course, like the half mile ones, like Bristol, I think.
Yeah,
I remember watching. I never liked the shorter ones. I don't know why. I
I don't like the short track
Yeah.
racing either. Because like the only way to pass on those is like, especially with the new car now, you just got to knock the shit out of the other guy.
Yeah.
And then like you're talking about flow of a race, you bump a guy too hard, they go on the wall, and then you got to do caution laps. So like,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I don't like.
It's just it goes back to the F1 thing, and I'll never watch F1. Like I want to see passing. Like
Yeah. I get that part of it. I'm gonna say, like, if I ever were to like claim to be a NASCAR fan, I would definitely be a very casual that just like watched highlights on Twitter.
And you get the highlights without having to
I mean, sitting there and just, I don't know. I can't do it. I'll admit it. I just can't do it. That was brutal that day. It was just, yeah.
you got to put a couple bucks on it.
That actually also is true. If you're watching casual, like one of the guys in the press room told me this, and I went to cover that race in St. Louis. He was like, a lot of people, like if you're just watching casually, it's very boring. You have to have a guy you're rooting for, and if you have a rooting interest in it, then all of a sudden it makes the race a lot more exciting. But otherwise,
I will
100%
agree with that, because remember that race, Mitch, where you told me to like take Ford and some other dude? I mean, even though it didn't win, I'm not salty about that at all, fucker.
Jinx.
That was a good plan. I stand by it. It just didn't.
But I will say, like, I waited until like someone tweeted out like last lap or something. I turned it on and I was fucking into it because obviously I wanted the money to win. But then I saw that there was like one Ford car left and he was in like 13th place. And I texted you.
Okay, that's bullshit. No. Joey Logano was right in position to win. And threw the caution out. We got screwed on that. We got screwed. Brad Doherty's guy won, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Because he owns the 47 car. But we got screwed on that bet. The Fords were in control of the Daytona 500 all day. They threw an early caution.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good bet. I stand by it. I stand by that pick. Super speedways, you always bet a Ford.
Is my check in the mail, or how's that work?
Well, now we're even
for.
Now I was gonna say you placed that bet, not me. So I guess. All right. Well, you can give me a gambling advice when I come back.
Well, I don't know. I got to think of a long shot bet to get Mitch some AC money down there.
Yeah.
Like Oscar Colas hit 2 home runs in a game. I bet you.
I started to get my color back though. I did turn it on. I don't know if you noticed the camera went off.
Oh no, the glow went down significantly as the show went on. Well, you guys got a
money eater. Last week I had to use all that data on my phone. This week AC.
I'm on the phone data right now. You guys got anything else you want to add? I can't believe we went 2.5. You guys got anything else you want to add?
Made a lot to talk about. Cubs are gonna buy. Prediction: Cubs are gonna buy.
Interesting. Mitch, anything before we go?
I don't know if they're gonna buy anything good, but they're gonna buy.
I've dragged this show on long enough. Mercifully, I will let it end.
All right. So for Mitch, that's Aldo Amzo. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you next week. And again, if a trade does happen between now and the show, make sure you're following us on all of our Twitters and threads and all whatnot. And we'll do quick video reactions. And then obviously we'll talk about it more at length on the show. But appreciate all of you. Have a good night. Stay dry. And we'll see you next week.